Ricky, you had an eventful weekend.
I did, yeah. So I saw Evil Dead Rise. That was a pretty good movie. And then I went up to New York and I saw Tame Impala at the Barclay Center, which was really super
I
sick.
don't think I could name a single Tame Impala song. Is that bad of me? I know that they're like in the same like realm as like the 1975 and Glass Animals in my brain, but they're not.
Yeah.
I know they're not, but they all like seem sleazy.
Right? Yeah. Male manipulator music. I think that's fair to say.
Is that it? Okay.
Yeah.
I wasn't sure if I didn't want to say those words, but if I'm glad you said them.
No, I think the joke is that like one of their albums, one of the album covers, I believe it's Currents. It's like, oh, like if he has these bed sheets, run away, and it's like, I don't know. That's same thing with like navy bed sheets, navy blue bed sheets. Same sort of stigma. But yeah, no, it was super cool. And also the Barclay Center is fucking terrifying.
Yeah,
like the seats are like super far apart, or like the incline for the seats is super, super steep, which is really nice.
Ew.
Because, well, I mean, it's nice because you pretty much no matter where you're sitting.
Oh, because it's a basketball arena. Okay,
it is.
yeah.
Yes.
So, yeah.
And we were up on the second story. Well, I mean, I say second story, but like it was many stories up, right? But like, you know, the second level.
Right.
But like, because of the incline of the seats, you like always, no matter where you're sitting, you can see straight down onto, you know, the court, or
That's
in this
cool.
case, the So which was really super fucking neat, because he did a lot of cool stuff with, like, you know, walking around the stage, getting off of it, going onto a side stage, you know, performing there for a bit. And so, like, that was super cool and fun. But, like, first walking out there and, like, walking up the steps, it's like, oh, this is a little weird. And then getting to your seat where you're, like, I don't know, there's
Shuffling.
not much foot room. There's just really not a lot of foot
Yeah.
room. And when you're going past somebody, it's really sus. But, like, once we got there, and even sitting down is weird, because, like, once you sit down, like, your feet...
You got vertigo.
Well, yeah, but your feet are,
like looking down.
right at the fucking seats in front of you, you know? And, like, everybody else is sitting,
Yeah.
so you're looking straight goddamn down. But, like, once everybody stood up and, you know, like, everyone's sort of vibing, it was like, all right, this is, like, hey, guys... It was a lot more manageable, you know?
It's like, guys, cats,
Yeah,
stop sniffing my
guys.
asshole. I mean,
Yeah.
look, yeah.
No,
That's
Oreo
funny.
just hopped off my lap to aggressively chase after Kita, who also wanted to hop onto my lap. So it's a valuable commodity in this space.
I didn't realize until you were talking about it that Tame Impala is one guy. Also, like, I didn't realize. I thought it was like a band. Like, thought it was at least like a project.
Yeah,
right,
yeah.
like Gorillas. You
So
know, where it's like
that's a
there's
huge
different
meme,
people.
like, especially among Tame Impala
Sure.
fans. And like, Zach always tells me about, like, he'll scroll the Tame Impala Reddit, and he's like, that's like the number one thing. It's like, people be like, you know, it's only one guy. It's like, yeah, it is only one guy. But when he's performing live, it is like a group, right? Like, he has like drummers.
Sure, yeah, he's
guitarists,
got
yada,
like
yada.
musicians traveling.
Yes,
yeah.
yeah. But like,
That's cool.
recording in the studio, that's all him, and he works a lot with like loops and stuff. And when he was performing, he did a couple of like really fun little loop tricks for a few of his songs, where like he would press a button and like it would keep replaying on like the big screens. It would keep like replaying like him going to like press the button, and like the same loop of the audio there, while he was like walking around and setting up other stuff, which was super cool and fun. It was neat to see.
Yeah, that is cool. That's what I admire any musician who can like do things semi-improvised on the fly. Like, I think that's that's a skill that just like I can't even imagine. Like, I used to play an instrument whatever in school, but like, and you know, that's one thing, but like to be able to like jam, or like even just kind of like do things live a little bit differently, that's cool.
Yeah, improv was always super tough for me, because I also played an instrument. I played a cello, and we had I believe it was the Black Violins came to our school, and they like had a couple of us like do improv with them, and I was like, this shit's fucking tough, man. This sucks. And, like,
yeah, fuck you.
I had like one bit that I like did pretty well. They're like, oh shit, all right, like play something more. I was like, I don't think I can.
Nope, that's all. That you're hitting the bottom of the barrel.
Yeah.
Like, we got the tank is empty.
Dude, I got one little juice box. I squeezed it out. That's it. Okay, you know, like I just don't have the juice like that. But it's super duper impressive.
Yeah, no, props to those people. Couldn't be me. But we were at the Ren Fair a couple weekends ago for the final night, and we had gone 4 times, and we watched like one of the improv troupes that was through the Ren Fair, like the performers like employed by the Ren Fair that had shows and stuff. And they were doing like a mix of, it was a comedy show, but it was, a lot of like musical, like singing and like improv limericks and kind of like stuff like that. And like, it's just like the level of talent that requires is next level. Like, I think that's so fucking awesome. To be able to get on stage and do that.
Yeah. I just don't think I could. Yeah. I know you messaged me like right after that. You're like,
I was also drunk messaging.
Yes. And I was like, Lane, I just like, I don't have that dog in me, bro. Like, that is not me. I'm sorry,
Neither of us are musical. Although you're pretty lyrical. Like, you've got like you're very good with rhymes and puns. That's not my kind of wit.
I can do puns. Yeah. That's kind of my thing.
Yeah. So, but it could happen. We could do it. If we got Psy in there, I think we could maybe perform for like $10. Like, we could do.
Yeah, maybe.
It'd probably be more successful than this fucking podcast.
That's true. Yeah. Wow. I mean, pretty low bar to set.
Exactly.
This is just for funsies.
But you also, it is just for funsies. That's the whole point. But you saw Evil Dead Rise. Speaking of drunk texting, and I know this because you had drunk texted me after you were watching it, being like, "Yo, why does every movie have rape in it?" Like that was your text. It was like,
I don't even think I said rape. I think I said sexual abuse against women,
sex
very
violence.
Specifically, or sexual violence against women, specifically.
Wait, Ricky's on his not hating women arc?
Yeah,
Ricky's
true.
away from the hating women arc?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
I hate that you keep saying that. Anyway. No, but yeah.
Maybe stop hating women, buddy. I don't know what to tell you.
My bad. But like the intro scene, crazy, insane, and super cool. Nothing to do with the rest of the movie whatsoever. Like,
what was the intro scene? Was it like not sexually violent, but then the rest of it was?
This
is the one in an apartment, right? Like,
yes.
Evil Dead Rise is like an apartment building with like a mom.
Yeah. The beginning, they're like, I don't know, at like a summer camp essentially, and it's, spoilers for Evil Dead Rise.
For the first 5 minutes.
Yeah, the first 5 minutes. But it's super cool, like, because like they have the title card and everything right at the end of it. But basically, like, a woman's friend walks into the room, and like you see a woman sort of like hunched over in bed, and the woman's friend is like, "Hey, we got to get going," or yada yada. She's just like trying to get her moving, essentially. And then she's like, "All right, whatever, you keep doing this. Like, I'm gonna hang out until you're ready." And she starts reading a book, and then the one on the bed like sits up straight. Like we get like the view back. She's like sitting up, and she starts like reading like what's next in the book that we see coming up, and super creepy. And then like she becomes the Evil Dead, and she grabs a quad rotor or drone. That's what it's called. Cool. And she cuts her head off with it, right?
That's awesome. That's fucking so cool. Love that.
Dude jumps into the lake to save her body, and like she fucking like rips him apart, and then like she like rises out of the lake slowly, and then it just Evil Dead Rise, and it was like, yo, it was super fucking cool.
We're rising. That's awesome. But that is cool.
The drone scene literally made me go, what the fuck?
I love that.
It was so shocking and immediate.
I fucking love those.
Yeah. Super cool.
That is cool. Yeah, I have not seen that one or the remake from 2013 that we had talked about before. So but it was good. You liked it overall, even despite the problematic women things.
Yeah, they do a lot of similar things with the setup and like sort of like Chekhov's gun type things. Where you're like, oh, okay, well, like this is definitely going to be used.
Another quadcopter drone?
Like, no way.
See where this is going.
Yeah.
They can't keep getting away with it.
Yeah, I do think it was a little bit like weaker than the first overall, but still a couple of really cool scenes and like definitely a really enjoyable, fun watch. Super cool, yeah.
Yeah, it seems like a good one with friends to kind of like enjoy as a group. Yeah.
Zach was passed out on the couch, and I continued drinking past the point when I should have stopped, and then later puked at like 6 a.m. So the classic Ricky Rudy maneuver.
Great. Yeah. Was this was Saturday night or Friday night?
Friday night.
It must have been Saturday. No, it was Friday? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because we...
Cool. So like actual Halloween. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you were at the concert Saturday night.
Yes.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yes. Yeah.
Cool.
And then we came
I
back
watched
on
Manhunter
Sunday.
Friday night.
Manhunter
was not
too.
Drinking. Yeah. Manhunter is sick. Yeah. That movie. Just I could watch her pet that tiger in the fucking like vet office. I could watch 2 hours of that.
Inject
like it's
that
such
shit
a good
into my fucking veins, bro. Like
yeah, truly. Yeah. Give me never mind.
The substance is like going up to a TV playing Manhunter, just that scene on loop, and like taking the fucking juice out of it and injecting it into my spine. That's what my substance is, alright?
My substance is chemical castration. To resist against Emma Stone's wiles. This is We Want to Watch. This is a show where we talk about movies that we want to watch. My name is Lane.
My name's Ricky.
I like that you raise your hand. You always do the wave.
Yeah.
Whenever you say that, as if they can see you. I hope it comes across watchers in the
I feel like
in the
people
audio
can feel that.
Ricky is waving.
Yeah, they feel my warm welcome vibes. My name's Ricky. Yeah. I do that if I'm on like call with people too, and they're like, "Oh, hey, good morning." I'm like, "Hey, morning, guys." Like give them a little wave.
Yeah.
It's also so that like if I'm in real life and I say like hello to people, I'm not just standing there not waving and not saying anything, right?
Yeah. Fair. I don't like to do the wave on virtual calls. Like I don't like to go like bye or like hey. Like I with the hand. I don't do that.
If my camera's on,
I'm closer to going like what up.
Yeah.
You wouldn't do it if your camera was on.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
But
well, if it's like coworkers,
you're just staring there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hello.
Right. Hey fam.
No, I don't know. Like if it's coworkers and stuff, it's like a little bit too. It's more professional. So like. Maybe I'll wave. I think it's just
we got different workplaces.
Yeah.
That's fair. Anyway, this week was Elaine's Frame. Although, I mean, if we're being a little honest, this is a little bit of a two-reeler. I think that you would want to see this too. This movie.
This was Elaine's
the
Frame.
Guffaw. This.
Elaine's like, well, really? I mean, either one of us could have chosen this movie,
Anybody could have wanted to see this movie. This was Bugonia, out in theaters as of last week when this episode comes out, 2025, directed by Yorgos Lanthimos. Our second, not Lanthimos, as Ricky's prone to say. Lanthimos, yes. Our second Lanthimos film. We had seen Kinds of Kindness last year, but I forget if you had seen anything else from this director.
I don't think so.
I'm burying the lead here dramatically, but we'll get there. So you haven't seen Poor Things or not Kinds of Kindness, Killing of a Sacred Deer, The Lobster. None of those are, yeah.
No,
okay.
But I have heard a lot about The Lobster. Now that you mention it, I didn't know that was Lanthimos.
Yeah. He also did The Favorite, which was like his big crossover, kind of big like English crossover movie. He made a lot of Greek movies before, but The Favorite was his, I think, first collaboration with Emma Stone, and it's the one that got Olivia Colman her Oscar. If you know who she is, she's a British actress. She was kind of like in a bunch of indie stuff and then got big. Anyway, we'll watch some of these movies someday. But anyway, so yeah, this is our second Lanthimos on the pod, but do you want to summarize how you felt about Kinds of Kindness?
I really liked Kinds of Kindness. I thought it was super awesome.
Yeah.
I enjoyed the whole vignettes of it all, and I feel like we talked about this really recently on a really recent episode. So
anthologies for the Kaidan episode,
yes.
I think we talked about. Yeah.
Watchers, go ahead and watch the Kaidan episode whenever you guys get a chance.
Hell yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. Being my only point of reference for Lanthimos' work, I mean, that one, obviously, like, pretty shocking.
Very different.
Pretty similar. Like, if you had put me in this theater and, like, not told me who it was by, I maybe would have been able to get it. If you had said, hey, not telling you who it's by, but it's somebody that you've seen before, Lanthimos would have been, like, top 3, right?
Top of the line.
If not the first one, right. Yeah.
Sure. Yeah, that makes sense. This movie, so, I found this, I've seen this movie twice. I saw it opening day, and then I did see it with a group, a few days later. So, this movie is very different than his other work because I think he didn't write it. I think it gives a very different vibe. And this is his most grounded, it sounds ridiculous to say, but his most like grounded and straightforward, I think, movie that I've seen of his, where it's like, I don't get the sense that there's anything that happens on screen that is purely metaphorical or allegorical. I think you could take this movie more or less literally, except for maybe just like the overarching story is obviously like social allegory or whatever, social commentary. But I think you can also watch this movie as a pretty straightforward sci-fi conspiracy thriller, whatever, and like it plays and makes sense. Whereas I don't think you can obviously say that about Kinds of Kindness, and some of his others are a little bit more fantastical, both in their structure or in the like the dialogue especially. Mm-hmm. No one sounds like I was about to say an alien. No one sounds fucking like not like words that you would hear in real life in this movie. Like, obviously there's some crazy dialogue, but compared to Kinds of Kindness, where people are speaking in like esoteric, like, you know, parables and shit, you know, this is much more grounded. Yeah.
Yeah. It also is not as open-ended as Kinds of Kindness was.
True.
Which was something that I definitely liked about Kinds of Kindness. Not that I didn't like this movie, or like where it went, and like how it was structured.
Oh, it kind of sounds like you don't like where it went and how it was structured, actually, when you say that.
Not as much as Kinds of Kindness, right? I liked
That's interesting.
It, but the last 20 minutes,
I'm about to make Ricky admit he hates this movie.
Don't hate the movie at all. But the last 20 minutes, it's like it gives too much of an answer, you know? Which, like...
Oh, you think so? Oh, interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
That's fascinating. You might be the one person on planet Earth who thinks that this movie has, like, a very definitive, like, answer.
Wait,
I guess,
really?
like, the plot, I think, answer is very, right, like, we know what happens, but then, like, what it means, I feel like, is so ambiguous that it's... Like, what it's implying or what it's saying, I feel like, is so... Not ambiguous, but just, like... Yeah, I guess thought-provoking.
Yeah. I mean,
but I see what you mean.
Part of it for me is it's just like, I mean, with the whole name behind it too, it's the idea that, like, because, so, like, Bugonia, if I'm not mistaken, is the idea that bees, like, spawn from dead ox, right?
Right. Yeah, like back in the day when they didn't know where, like, maggots came from, they thought they just, like, spontaneously, like, showed up in dead meat.
Right. And so the whole sort of, I guess, overarching, like, plot of the film and whatnot, it's like, well, you can come to the correct solution, right? Like, you can be exactly correct. And it doesn't really matter, right? You're still wrong, you know?
Interesting. Okay. I think this is good. Wow, you better fucking strap in. This is about to be a 3-hour episode. We're breaking 3 hours tonight, okay. I've decided. Jesus. We're going to still be recording when Christopher gets home. That's really interesting. So we didn't see Eddington. Did you see any Eddington or like talk any? So that's the Ari Aster movie that came out.
Oh, okay. I was going to ask if this was a movie or a director.
Yorgos Eddington, his brother. Doesn't share a last name.
Yeah, from different mothers, you know, brothers from another mother. Surprised you haven't heard of him.
No, it's the Ari Aster movie that came out earlier this year that was like a straightforwardly set in COVID, like social thriller, like kind of like anxiety, like basically like commentary on like paranoia and social trust and whatever.
Yeah.
And I feel like this movie, I did not see that movie. I was like, that's none of my business. I'm not going to go see Eddington. But I feel like this is much more in line with that idea. I do think that this is like, these are the times we live in. I'm being a little bit flippant, but like, I don't think of it so much as, I think of it as a very specific to this time period movie.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I'd agree with that in a couple of ways. In terms of both social
Like
cohesion.
even 10 years ago, I think that
yeah.
it wouldn't play well, right? Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think
there's so many things that are like specific to the pandemic or specific to Trump.
It's
like that I yeah.
Yeah, it's also the level of technology that we have and the pandemic. I feel like this movie might have been able to have been played something like 2007 or so. You could still play off of something like that, but it's a couple of things, right? Because it's the like sort of lack of social cohesion, social trust, and a lot of that was broken with the sort of like elites or authority figures with COVID, right? Mistrust of doctors, mistrust of CDC, and I feel like that sort of fed into a lot of like the already like anti-capitalist, anti-billionaire ideology thing, where it's like, oh, like Jeff Bezos, 5G, they're sticking you with the 5G needles, they're going to make you a zombie, that sort of thing, right? Where a lot of those elements would not really play any time outside of like this specific period of time, right?
Well, it's really interesting you say that. Did you know that this movie is a remake? Did we ever talk about this? That this is a remake of a South Korean movie?
No, but I did read that, right? And yeah, I was going to say, like, I still think there are a lot of elements that could be taken out of this or like remade slightly, and they'd work like pretty much across lives, because like
more timelessly,
like, right? Yeah. I mean, mistrust of authority figures is like not a new concept, right? And like lack of social cohesion, also not very new or anything.
For sure.
And like, aliens are running the government, also not like there's a lot of stuff that it's like, okay, yeah, like pretty timeless.
Right, but I think the specific tone and a lot of the specific elements are not timeless.
Right.
Like
right.
If we were to watch one day, we'll watch like one of the like 70s Watergate thrillers. Like we'll watch like 3 Days of the Condor or something. I don't know. Or like whatever. No, we'll watch The Conversation. But it's the tone is very different, I would say. And like obviously the elements of like what is the conspiracy, what like health misinformation, I don't think is the same. Like that has become such a singular topic that I think that signifies it. Like all like injecting antifreeze is as the cure is so close to injecting bleach. Right. It just So and I have not seen Save the Green Planet, the movie from 2003 that this was based on. So I can't compare if what elements have transferred over. But I do think that so much of this, especially the characterization of the Plemons character. Let's see, how many minutes was that? I wanted to see how long I could go into this episode without saying his name.
23. Yeah.
But like I feel like there's so much of that is like specific to this type of guy.
Right. Yeah. I mean, I think, and like, I like a lot of the dialogue and stuff, is like very particularly dated to like right now. Right. And the sort of, I guess, not motivations, but like you're saying, like the specificities. I don't know. The specifics are like very much so specific to now.
Grounded here.
Yeah, but there are like a ton of elements that like I mean are really widely applicable to like many times, Yeah. But
I guess when they all come together it feels much more. I'm trying to think of like other movies. We talked a lot about like 9/11 or like immediate pre 9/11 cinema or like post 9/11 cinema, like the tone of that. I'm trying to think of other, like actually, the financial crisis, that would be a good, or like the Iraq War. Like, Iraq War, especially with horror, is very, like, you can feel it. Like, I just think that, that this movie, and I'm saying this, I think this movie might not age very well because of all this. This is what where I was ultimately going to. Like, it's so specifically set in this time that I think a lot of the little elements that make it distinctive could be, kind of corny or like, like not age well. In the same way that some of the ones I'm thinking of, like from like the financial crisis, like bank bailout, Occupy times, like some of that stuff has aged poorly too. So.
Right. Yeah. And I think it's going to age poorly in very similar ways, where like a lot of the back and forth dialogue, especially between Plemons and Emma Stone, like a lot of that is going to age, and especially like the motivations behind each of them. I mean, maybe not the direct motivations behind the Plemons character, but the like the non-political fella who's like run the ringer, essentially, where he even like sort of mocks that, right? That is very specific to a like type of guy who is like
a moment in time,
right?
Yeah,
right, and which sort of rampant.
I think something that could be this movie's saving grace, and something that I think is the saving grace of a lot of those movies from the 70s, those like types of like conspiracy thrillers, is that they're very nihilistic, and this movie is pretty nihilistic too, right? And so, and that's Yorgos' style. But so I feel like those might tend to age a little better than like the naivete of like, well, if the people come together and like if Obama's here, then we'll all be and I'm not dogging on any specific politics or anything like that, but just like I think the art can sometimes sour in the aftermath, whereas this doesn't have that perspective, so it might age better in that way. But I don't know, it's a toss up.
Yeah, I don't believe I've seen like a conspiracy film whose main premise is tragedy, right?
Oh.
Which
we got it. Well, I'll get you a list, bro. There's a lot of them.
Or well, I mean, I guess, or like such, maybe not like specific tragedy, right? Like, I have seen movies. Yeah, I have seen movies where like there's a conspiracy and a tragedy occurs in which it's like a widespread tragedy, and like they're sort of focused upon that, but not necessarily like. I mean, I guess, yes, technically there is widespread tragedy in this movie, but
sure,
it's for the most part a case study on like one specific like
one guy
spiderweb effect, right? Yeah. It's like the glass cracking, and like it's the one offshoot. It's like okay, well, like we're taking this all the way to its logical end. And that's something that I don't really feel like I see very often. Because normally you focus on, like, this is going to sound insane.
Right.
But you get, like, a Michael Keaton type movie where, like, it's focused on...
Michael Keaton. Did you just mean Michael Clayton? And you said Clayton. Michael Keaton?
Yeah. Is Michael Keaton a person? Am I close at least?
Michael Keaton played Batman.
Okay, he was close. Yeah.
Anyway.
So... like Michael Clayton is, I mean, yes, like there is like a conspiracy going on,
but it's like they're poisoning it, like they're getting away with it, like that kind of level of like widespread social,
right, and the person who like is being affected is not the one who we're following, right?
Yeah,
like it's not like a revenge story in a sort of traditional sense that way. It's like an Avenger type story, right?
Yeah. We'll watch The Conversation. We'll do that. I'm putting that. I'm making sure that that's on the list.
Okay.
There's a lot of, I think there's a significant amount of, because I love those movies. Like I love Michael Clayton. I love a movie where like Mark Ruffalo has like his own genre where he's playing like a journalist or like a detective or a business guy who Hulk? Like digs into a conspiracy. No.
Okay, not fun.
No, where he where he'll like Spotlight is an example, a movie you might have heard of. It's about the kind of like group of journalists who uncovered lots and lots of child sex abuse in like the Catholic Church in Boston. And so like there's a lot of those types of movies where it's like we're following somebody who's uncovering the truth, and it's like heroic, even if the movie is sad or tragic. Like you're still like on the the side of the good guy who's not necessarily being targeted directly.
Yes. Which I love how they played it, like not ambidextrously, ambiguously, yes. For the beginning of the film, for really the first 80-90% of it, it's just like very not. I don't even want to say ambiguous. It's pretty distinctly like, hey, this guy is just a nutcase, right? Like, you know.
Oh, see.
And here's like the tragedy.
That's very interesting. I was going to ask, I didn't necessarily want to come out right and say this because I don't know if it's the most interesting thing for us to talk about, but I am curious now that you bring this up. When did you know that he was onto something for sure? Like, when did you know that she was an alien or that there was like something else going on besides she's just a human and he's crazy?
For sure? Like, for sure?
Yeah. Yeah.
I went
or like
back
when were you convinced, I guess?
No,
yeah,
I went back and forth so many times. It wasn't until he was in the closet and she started walking away that I went, there's no way she gets out of that door in time. And as she's counting down, I'm like, what is her plan after this, right? Because he's just going to walk out of that door, you know? And then as soon as she presses the button and he explodes, right? Oh, I went, oh, fuck!
Okay.
Like, it's real. Like that would, but again, it's like anything before that, right? It's like, well, just back and forth with.
Interesting.
When she did the, first of all, when she convinces, not to hash out the whole film, but when she convinces Donnie to kill himself, right? I was like, okay, this is very human. Oh. Like, that's fine, whatever. When she was so calm about it afterwards, and she like wiped the blood off of her face, I was like, "That's fucking weird, man." I was like, "Okay," like, but I was like, you know what? It's fine. She's just like, she's a high-powered woman. You know, she's a girl boss. She's a bit of a sociopath. That's okay. We accept that here. You know, that's fine. Whatever. But then
let women be sociopaths.
That's what I'm saying. That's literally what I'm saying. But it was when she was too calm about that. And then once she had like unlocked herself and she started looking through the stuff.
And she doesn't leave. That was when I was like, she's definitely an alien. That was the moment for
I didn't even say she's definitely an alien at that point. I was just like, okay, so like, what is her play now? Because I was like, I think the antifreeze play, great. Really smart. You know, gets him out of the house for a long period of time.
Girl boss. Yeah. Right.
I was like, this is almost a flawless play. You know, she gets the keys. I was like, okay, very, very smart play as well. And I'm like, I'm on board here. Totally get you. But once she opens that door, I was like, that's not the way out. And she knows that's not the way out. And I was like, okay, maybe she's looking for a weapon, something.
Yeah.
And so like when she comes back out and then she does the whole Andromeda talk with him, she's like, oh, how many were Andromedans? I was like, okay, now she's fully invested in the role. She understands his mentality, right? She's doing anything she can to get out of this because she couldn't unlock the door, right? I was like, okay, fine. Like, she realized there was no way out. She had no weapons. I was like, this totally fine play. I get it, you know? Like, you go, girl.
You're so funny.
What? Literally, this was my thought process.
No, you just, you go, girl. In the theater is just a really funny thought to have. Like, okay.
Oh, because she's got to get the fuck out of here however she, can, right? And I was like, she's being extremely resourceful. She has totally understood her captor, and she knows what she needs to say in order to get out of this situation alive. Good for her, you know?
Interesting.
And then even to the point where, like, they're driving in, and, like, they're walking in, I'm like, how is nobody tackling this fucking guy? And I'm like, I know she's thinking that, too. She's walking there, and she's like, how is nobody tackling this motherfucker next to me, you know? And I'm like, all right, well, fine. And I'm like, I assumed that's what her play was. And then she gets to it, and still nobody's helping her. She's in the office. Nobody is fucking interfering. And I'm like, this is insane. Yeah. Obviously her plan is off the rails. And she even, like, seems, like, fearful.
Well, everyone's so scared of her.
Yeah, I know.
Everybody is so afraid of her. Yes, it's kind of a funny, and we know that they're like, okay, boss.
Right. And that's the whole sort of like, I mean, obviously, like the whole beginning sequence where she's like leaving and she's like, oh, it's 5:35.
If you want to leave, but like.
Yeah.
But like only if you have nothing to do or you're like not busy.
If you still have work to get done, you can stay. But like definitely feel free to leave. So, and like she's talking about somebody who killed themselves. It's like but anyway, like staying on the topic of the end, right? Like the amount of fear that she shows at the like handmade bombs, I was like, oh, okay, that's a human reaction as well. I get it. And she's like doing the calculator thing. As soon as she pulled the calculator out of a special box, that's where I was like, okay.
Ricky is steepling his fingers.
Yeah, I was like, that's very interesting and, like, not a human thing to do, right? But I was like, okay, sure, like, I'll excuse it. It could be whatever, right? But yeah, I was I flip-flopped back and forth so many times with, like, how I was viewing the film. Like, just in terms of, like, oh, okay, is this a trapped woman trying to escape? Which it is, right? Versus, like,
sure,
like, her actually being an alien, which I did entertain the idea of a few times. Like, all throughout the film, I was like, oh, it would be so funny if she was, like, actually an alien. Like, especially in the beginning, I was like, this would be so funny. And then as it got later, I was like, this is kind of funny. Anyway, when was it for you?
It was when, so I first suspected it when her reaction upon waking up was the first thing that I was like, okay, yeah, definitely not. Like, there's definitely something going on.
So the speech or her just saying, like, hey, am I in the hospital? Because the beginning part, I was like, fine.
Well, the very, it's when she is waking up and she's feeling for her hair, and she immediately clocks her hair is missing.
Yeah.
And then, like, all of her reaction, the fact that she wasn't worried about, like, being assaulted by these guys, which we'll talk about the sex in this movie, or, like, lack of sex in this movie. But, like, her reaction upon waking up was very strange. And at first I was like, okay, this could just be, like, we're really leaning into a CEO is soulless and has no, like, only self-preservation instincts. But then when she, she feels her hair up and everything, and I'm like, okay. And then really the scene where, like, I knew and did not really waver again from that point was when she did not go and try to leave and try to escape. When she goes and investigates and then confronts him, no one would do that. Yeah. You would, like, even if you are curious, like, even if you did want to see, like, what, what's over there, like, you'd still try to leave before he comes home. She's, like, lying in wait for him when he comes back.
She's standing in wait for him.
So, yeah.
On like a bum knee.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Her lack of pain too is pretty. So this movie plays great on a second watch. I'll say this, like, very rewarding second watch, because so I've alluded to, I've drank the Plemonade. We're all Plemon heads here, big fans. Mm-hmm. What if it's time to get stoned? What if Emma Stone is also, like, what if we I think this is the movie that makes me like her more than anything else I've ever seen her. This is the movie where I was like, I get it. Like, I'm on board. She is so... the first watch is, like, great. She's an excellent foil to all of the characters. She's, inhabiting the role really well. She's really funny. The second watch is, like, unbelievable. The things that she is doing with, like, her eyes and her, like, just the little bits, like, the little twitches, and, like, just the physicality of her face, specifically, is very deft in playing that ambiguity in such a way that you're not like, oh, she's obviously a suspicious alien, but, like, in a way that is, just like these micro expressions. It's really, really incredible. This movie was like really the one that made me think, oh, she's got it. Like, this is the one. This movie made me like her. So,
I was going to say the same thing about Plemons. I'm not going to lie. Especially... let's go!
He's awesome in this movie, too. We'll talk about it.
Yeah. He plays the... I don't know, the, like, I've got a secret, like, so fucking well.
Yeah.
Like, when he's out among, like, people, he plays that, like, I'm just proud enough of myself, but, like, I know I can't show it,
Yeah. He does so much incredible face acting, but also, like, physicality in this movie. And we'll talk about some specific things, but, like, he really does inhabit, like, little shitty guy with a secret, and who's proud of himself, but also very afraid and very, like, hateful. Like, there's a lot of layers in that.
Yeah.
So before we get too far into jerking over this movie, there's one thing about this movie that I found fucking insufferable, hated it, thought it completely ruined, like, it kept this movie from being perfect for me. And I want to know if you feel the same way, because I'd rather just talk about it now and get it over with. But maybe not, because you're a little bit cooler on this movie, I think. So maybe it didn't stand out to you as much.
What was it?
Yeah. I think everything to do with Stavros and his character and like that, the writing and that like storyline is like awful. It's like so like it stands out like shockingly bad.
What, you ain't fuck with Stavi and his
no,
childhood sexual abuse of Jesse Plemons, even though he's obviously like younger than him?
Like 10 years younger? Yes, that part really sucks. Like, okay, but I'll suspend disbelief. Yeah, sure, whatever, that's fine. But then. Okay, no, whatever.
Wait, can I just say real quick? My favorite part of Stavi's role was the sound his head made as it fucking exploded. It was like a cantaloupe, bro.
Yeah. It was so loud.
I've dropped a watermelon before outside, like walking it in, and it made the exact same noise.
It sounded like.
Yeah.
I have no whatever. I like all of that. Like whatever, dirtbag left. Compound, whatever. Like,
I also want to say,
go ahead.
Jesus
Christ, Ricky, you're back on the hating women.
I've never seen Stavi in any of this stuff, but I have seen some of his like appearances on podcasts. And he always seems A, funny, and B, like he calls people out on their shit when they're just being like hateful instead of funny, and I really appreciate that. And it seems like it's something that like, especially in like right-wing circles, that doesn't happen very often. So I really appreciate him for that. And so I can't say, that's I don't have anything really bad to say about the guy,
Unfortunately, he has toured on every fucking podcast that I listened to in the last 2 months about this movie. So I've unfortunately been exposed to him. Yeah. And listen, he's funny, but he's also very annoying. Like I get tired of his thing. Like it seems like he has a real thing. And that thing might only be my business 60% of the time. Anyway, he is unbelievably outclassed in this movie, in his scenes with Plemons, that it's like, and not just like the age, and part of it is the writing, but like, his acting is bad. Like, just like, not bad, but just like not good in this movie with like incredible acting and very amazing performances. He is just like, he stands out like a sore thumb, and for like bad reasons.
He's okay the very first time we see him, because I think he plays really well the like,
he's fine,
the like, hey, sorry about this. I think he does that fine.
It's so one note though. It's so in a movie with like very complicated characters with differing motivations and layered motivations, his motivations are all very obvious from scene one, which is a writing problem, not a him problem. But he also doesn't like do anything interesting with his, like he has no interesting physicality. He's kind of doing like a first pass of like, okay, you're playing a child molester cop, like,
right,
like play it, and like you have regret, like that's all that's going on,
Yeah, I don't know. I like the beginning scene with them. I thought that was like pretty good.
The first scene is fine.
Yeah, and then when you see him again, right, it would have been fine if it was just him knocking, and then like once he enters the house, it's over. It's fucking over, because now they're like on the same stage.
Yeah.
Well, no, it's just like. Well, I mean, it's over.
The two of them like playing off each other.
Yes, it's in terms of like chemistry and in terms of like being able to be immersed in a scene. It's over because like, what is he bringing?
Yeah, he doesn't have anything interesting in his acting. Like he's playing it very straightforwardly. And like it got laughs out of my theater, but
even the cake thing, like, I don't know, man.
It's so obvious. It's stupid. It's dumb. It's like a dumb joke.
It's obvious. It's dumb. It's low hanging fruit. There's ways and I know that he knows he could have been funnier about it, and he could have been like even just a little point over there, like, hey, what you got going on? Like, there's so many ways that like he could have, instead it's just like the like my worst enemy, and it's like, okay, anything else? Like, I don't know.
And I don't want to chalk it up totally to him.
Right.
Because I do think the writing of that character is also really hammy and bad and like obvious. Like, it's very like, I question the whole like, let's pepper in this molestation thing to begin with. Like, I'm not saying that like, I don't think that's an interesting character motivation. Like, I think that can be interesting. I think that makes Plemons' character more interesting. But the delivery of that information is very clunky and kind of like played for a laugh. And so,
it's ham-fisted.
But then
it's just, and he's like, oh, every time I come up here, I get this sad.
It's like,
feeling.
oh, this guy.
This real.
Well, yeah.
I was saying after that. I mean, I think this guy again. I think those scenes are fine. Like that's what he can do. He can play to that well. But like you said, it's one note. And as soon as he goes off of that, it's very flat. There's not really. Yeah.
Well,
I don't know.
But the writing damns him more. Because on a second watch, I really paid attention to the beats of that conversation of them in the kitchen.
Yeah.
And between the cop and Plemons, and like it's like 4 times in a row it's the same like exchange where it's like, oh hey, notice this weird thing that sounds like I'm noticing something bad.
Yeah.
What? Oh, just that it's aliens. We're not alone. Yeah. Oh, I see you. You've got your chair, afraid of running away. What? That 6 times happens in the scene, back to back to back. And so it's not just his fault, but I think a better, maybe more accomplished actor could have done a little bit more to make it less, rhythmic or boring.
Even the stuff with the chair tied down, he could have looked a little there's ways that he could have displayed how awkward that would be. Because obviously he understands the situation with the guy's mom, obviously he was a part, pretty closely linked to the family.
It's a small town.
It's a small town.
Right.
But also, he was directly linked to the family for a decent period of time.
Yeah.
If somebody that I know was to say that to me, after I'd made an offhand joke or remark that I wasn't expecting to be,
I'd be like, oh shit, I'm sorry, man.
Yes,
yeah, right.
Yes. Or at the very least, I would show that on my face and maybe hunch my shoulder.
Yeah.
Again, with the physicality, there's a lot that he could have done that he didn't. But at the same time, really cool deaths. I'll be honest with you, if for all of the faults there, him getting fucking the bees thrown at him and then just shoveled, it's fun. Cool. That was really
if in this movie,
it could have been anyone
there,
but
Well, that's the thing though. In this movie that I think is condemning violence, right, and is saying that the ends don't justify the means here,
right.
In this, I think the movie wants to have its cake and eat it too, in the way of well, don't worry, it's a shitty cop and he was a chobo, so it's fine that he's getting the bees and the shovel to the face. I'm not complaining, right? It's fine, but it is kind of funny that they're well, don't worry, this guy, and of course Plemons also meets a shitty fate too, but accidentally, but quote unquote, whatever. But so it's a fun scene. Yeah, if there was ever somebody to get bees to the face and then also a shovel to the head, sounding like a watermelon. Great sound design. We should segue into that. This movie has excellent sound design.
And the sound design plays really well with the ambiguity of it as well. In terms of giving that sort of I'll call it astral noises during specific scenes which
there's buzzing.
Yes.
Yeah.
And especially early, it really passes back and forth. The scenes with the with the electric torture, right? A lot of those, I assumed that it was Plemons' character who was hearing the distortion in the radio, right? Because that's not that was on battery. It's not connected to the rest of the house, and it's not being affected by it. So it's oh, okay, there is something going on here. And we see the same noise that occurs when he's with his mom, and removing the acupuncture needles and whatnot. And I think they also do the same noise when he's first meeting with her in that flashback, and his mom's sailing further and further away. I'm not quite sure if they do that then, but yeah, it's a recurring sort of themed noise, and so it's
right.
I don't know. Yeah, it plays really really well with that. Super cool. Yeah.
Well. And, okay, 2 things on that. So the first is, did you, when she is talking to Don, the cousin, before he shoots himself, and the screen distorts and he hears a buzzing sound, or a buzzing sound is played when she's talking to him. What did you make of that? If you noticed what I'm talking, or do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, I assume that is her just powers or whatever you would like to call it.
Yeah,
when I was
like mind control. Yeah.
I think when I was watching it, I don't know if I noticed it because it's interlaced with the bees, right? Because they're going out and seeing the bees, and it's like
the
that
buzzing.
same sort of like background buzz.
And the same stuff.
When it came back, I was like, oh, it's weird that it's like still buzzing. But I did not pay much to that. What was the second thing you were going to say?
Well, just expanding on that, it does. I think that the buzzing is happening when she's trying to use or like exert influence over them.
Yeah.
Especially with the Dawn character, and during the electrocution scene where, I feel like the implication is that she's tapping into this like control, whatever, and that sound design, she does it happens when she first wakes up. And like reaches for her hair. There's like that buzzing, and she's like coming to.
And that's also one where it's cool. Like, it's like, oh, that could be ambiguous because it's like, oh, when somebody's first waking up, generally they do play like, like
they're
in a
fuzzy
lot of movies,
like,
they'll play like the noise and like the light was super oversaturated, yada yada. And it's like, oh, okay, so like maybe it is just that. So it is fun how they play with a lot of like expectations, and they use it because it's not a direct subversion of the expectation. It's just like. It's just so well integrated into it.
It's like a good, like subtle, like, subversion almost.
Yeah. It's because it's not even a red herring. It's just like, is this a sign or isn't it?
It's just a herring.
And it could be either. It's just a freaking herring, bro. Yeah. The other thing with the electrocution scene, and I originally assumed that this was just...
Okay, here's where we...
Well, I assumed that this was just because the like production wasn't quite aware of it, but like, I mean, that voltage you're going to burn, right?
Would kill a person. Yeah.
Well, it would kill a person as well. Yeah. But like, even without that, you if you survive, you're going to have burns and scars, 100%.
And she doesn't.
And when she got the shower, I was like, that was like the big thing that I noticed.
Where's all your injuries?
Right, because it was right after that. Like when she was getting the shower, I was like, that's so fucking weird. Like I was like, maybe they just couldn't like work out makeup that like wouldn't wash off of her temple, and I was like, that doesn't make a lot of sense. I was like, whatever.
She's an alien.
I literally just like brushed it off. I was like, okay, fine, like whatever. It's not a big deal, it's just a movie, fine. Yeah. But now I'm assuming that it was an intentional, which I mean, I guess I should assume that it's all intentional, but like, yeah. I just think it's a fun little thing.
Yeah. Well, and especially because he says in that scene where he's like, oh, that's where he realizes that she's like royalty. Yeah. So, and what a chilling reveal of how many people he's killed and known that they were humans. Right. That's a really devastating thing to think about in retrospect, that he had been doing this to countless people, and only two of them, quote unquote, only were Andromedons. Yeah.
And we knew that earlier. We knew that he had been doing this to multiple people. And so like her opening
but the reveal
that door,
of like how many.
Right. Yeah. I mean, that wasn't even particularly shocking. I was just like, okay, like sure, but like again, it comes down
and it's confirmation too.
Right. Yeah.
Go ahead.
Well, I was just gonna say, it comes down to like the like sociopath theory. I was like, oh, okay, like either this woman is an alien or she's a complete sociopath, right? Like one or the other, or psychopath, But like, I was like, either way, she has zero empathy if she's just looking at this unfazed at this point, right?
Well, the reveal of it, I do think plays pretty well as a reveal, because you don't see any evidence that he's really done this himself, and throughout the movie, he is. She makes the joke about the echo chamber. I do want to get into like their back and forth in their like little like rat-a-tat dialogue in the beginning, but when he's constantly saying like things that he's heard other places. Like he kind of does never mind, I'm not going to invoke that, but like at one point he's listening to a podcast on his bike. And they're talking about demons. They're like, these are demons from blah, blah, blah. Yeah. And then when he goes to work and he's having a conversation with the woman who has like the hand injury, he's like, they're just demons. Like he invokes it. And so it's like, it kind of is like, well, how much of this guy is like all talk? And then when he shows the diagram of the spaceship and he's like, you know, the research of YouTuber, you know, Ricky Bleep is you know, like built off. I'm standing on the shoulders of giant.
Yeah. But I'm the one who discovered how to tell them apart. Yeah, and he's like so proud of himself.
So it's very interesting to like think, oh no, he really was about that life. Like he really was doing this shit, which is crazy.
Yeah. So fucking funny, by the way, that the like shitty YouTube graphic that they showed and like that he like walked through is literally like 1-to-1 recreation of the ship. And I mean that's for me the big thing where it's like, all right, well, like, yeah, you're right. Like, here's your prize, you know? Like it.
Yeah.
You know. Yeah.
Well, I think that's kind of a fun... I like that this movie doesn't cop out and be like, yeah, this is just a fucking crazy person who didn't have any idea what was going on. Because you know, if we're going to talk about like this movie's commentary, right, of like whatever, conspiracy theorists or like social trust, the idea that like these incredibly hurt and exploited people then latch on to these very damaging, harmful, violent ways of coping and like understanding the world, even though they can pinpoint that there's something wrong, that there is like social malaise, but they can't, you know, they're so hurt that they can't really latch onto the right thing or like go about it the right way, because he is wrong at the, like, in ways about what they're there for, like what the purpose. And I don't think this movie's necessarily saying like, oh, actually the elites are good, but like the fact that he wasn't able to see, like that he wasn't actually as right as he thought, and that he was still, you know, subjecting people, like innocent people, to harm is, I think that's a fun, measured kind of way of approaching the situation versus he was just fucking crazy and you know.
Well, either way, it doesn't matter whether he's correct, right? I mean, you said earlier, like the means do not justify the end, right? It doesn't matter whether you're like correct at the end of the day, because what does it mean to be like correct about that, right? Well,
the correctness is less important than the fact that the violence that he showed and the manipulation that he did upon his cousin is what ultimately leads her to condemn the human race.
Right.
So it's what difference did it actually make when you're pursuing this like unhinged, like careless, cruel pursuit? You know, it's actually, it doesn't matter. It'll damn you in the end. I think that was a more interesting, like way of approaching it than it could have been.
Yeah. Oh, so, for sure. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Wow. I have so many notes. We have to get into this.
Let's get into it.
Coming back to the sound design. Great chase scene in the beginning. When like it feels kind of silly to call it a chase scene, like overblown, but like
when they're playing
when they kidnap her.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it's so goofy and like comical, which is good. You know, I mentioned in the beginning, like, that this movie has a lack of sex, right? The fucking like third line that he says is like my favorite fucking line in the movie, which is, it's like sex, but cleaner and nobody gets hurt.
Yes.
Which is, I like laughed out loud. I was like, oh, it's a no-fap movie. And then they chemically castrate themselves, which is really clever. Not just like, I think ideologically, I think that speaks to a whole fucking group of whatever conspiracy theorists, but, or whatever you want to call them. But also, it does take the edge off in that you're like, oh, they're not going to rape her. Like, they're not going to do any weird, like, sexually violent stuff, you know, mentioning Evil Dead Rise. Like, you know, so it does kind of like make it like lower the stakes a little bit in a way where you can kind of enjoy the humor and it doesn't feel so, you know, it's like comical, especially that first chase scene.
Yeah. When I was taking the Uber ride over there, I was talking to like my Uber driver and, I was like, oh yeah, I think it's kind of, they were like, oh, like what movie are you watching, Bugonia? What's it about? I said, I don't really know. I think it's like a psychological horror type thing. And a part of me was definitely like, took, like, because I had literally said to you earlier, like, a couple of days before, does every fucking horror movie have, like, just some form of sexual abuse in it? And, like, I was honestly thinking, like, man, they should just make a horror film that, like, you're not worried that, like, the killer is going to, like, rape this woman or something, right? It's like they should just do that sometime. That should happen. And
you know what movie that is? Hereditary. Sorry. Anyway.
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
That's part of what makes Hereditary so good. Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway. I mean, I'm not going to say that it doesn't happen, right? But, like, I don't know. Yeah. I mean, I think even in Hereditary, they almost definitely, like, at least say it, right? Like, oh, like, I don't know. Evil Dead does a lot
there's naked people in that movie, like, top to bottom. Yeah, no, horror... So much of horror is predicated on violence against women's sexualized bodies. Like, that's just how it is. It's been that way for, a century.
Yeah.
So
even just, like, threatening it, like, Evil Dead threatens it a lot, right? Yeah. Like, even without, like even if they don't show it, like, they are going to say some, like, really vile shit. And it's like, oh, geez, man, like, it's okay, like, yeah.
Well, So I do think that that kind of, like, okay, so they're not doing anything to be sexually violent. Like, that threat is not there. There's really not a lot of sexuality in this movie other than the molestation, which is kind of like an inelegant way of, like, suggesting that he would want to do things this way, like that he would be like a no-fap incel kind of guy. But so then that first kidnapping scene, it plays in these, like, really silly kind of, like, long shots that are, or, like, wide shots that are, like, very silly. Like, you just watch them struggle, and, like, kind of, like, he's so obviously unmatched by her. There's even the one that's, like, shot from within the pool.
That's the one I like that one the best. Glass removed. Yes, where you're looking out.
And so it's all
house. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And it's silent, more or less, or, like, very quiet. So it feels very silly. But then, go ahead.
I mean, muted horror is, like, almost more terrifying because, like, once he tackles her and they're, like, rolling around the bushes, like, you can't really tell, right?
Sure.
And then she gets up and you're like, oh, maybe
she's good.
And it cuts, and then you see the needle sticking out of her as she's starting to run away.
And you get the fun, like, the fun music drop of, like, the really heavy, like, score is really cool there when she falls.
She dropped, like, a cartoon character, too. Like straight up, like, it was, like, on a Family Guy or something.
So all of that sound stuff is, like, fun and, like, kind of keeps it light, like, keeps it moving. And then when he picks up the chair and throws it, it is so scary. It sounds awful. It sounds so fucking scary. Like, you're, like very, very jarred by that sound. Specifically, I feel like I can still hear it. Like, it's very upsetting.
Yeah. I mean, even during their first conversation, the way that it ends and, like, when he's like, oh,
and she's just, like, down there, like, can we keep talking?
When he's like, oh, like, I should have, like, you're lucky that I'm not gutting you like a fish, I think is what he says, like, verbatim. And then
and then the sound goes again. The score.
That's great. And then even before that, when, like, I don't want to say the threat of violence, but, like, when they're, like, preparing and it's, like, cutting back between them and her, and you get the, like, every time you see her, right?
Yeah.
And now that I'm thinking about it, I guess that could have been her just, like, exerting her power, like, on those around her. Sure. I mean, like, however you want to read that. But at least on first watch, I just assumed that was a fun little, like, difference between the two, where it's like almost like the Jaws dun where like there is impending doom approaching her, but, like, she is not aware of it, right?
It's so interesting you bring up Jaws, because when after the first day, when he is on the bike and he's riding the bike to his job, and before he gets pulled over by Stavros, and he's on the bike, the score. Do you remember thinking anything about the score? Because it's so Spielbergian, that whole little sequence of him, like, riding the bike, and it's, like, this beautiful sunny day, and he's shot and framed like he's a teenager riding his bike, like, on an adventure, like E.T., It reminded me of Spielberg, like 100%, and it was so funny. Like E.T. comes to mind, of course, or like Close Encounters, but Jaws too. There's like this adventurous, triumphant score of like, young men going and doing whatever. Like it's very funny.
Yeah, I didn't pull Spielberg specifically from that, but like I definitely was like, oh, this feels like not discordant in tone, but I was like almost, right? I was
ironic.
Like, this is ironic. Yeah, I was like,
yeah,
maybe this is not meant to be played for laugh, but as soon as he gets pulled over, the cup
totally,
spins around and Stabby walks out. Yeah. I'm like, all right, come on, like Jesus.
Yeah. Well, I think too, giving him a bike specifically, I mean, there's obviously like the income codedness of that, but I think too, I do think like coupled with the score and with the cinematography where it's framing him riding and like he doesn't like toward the end when he's on the bike he looks deranged, but then like when he's on, he's got a little bit of that like I'm doing right by the world, like I'm on an adventure. And I do think that's Spielberg Kids on Bikes is like such a like genre staple or iconic staple. So
I haven't seen E.T. in a long fucking time, but I feel like if I had seen it more recently, wow, dude, and you're making polls referencing it. That's crazy. But I feel like
I know there's a bike in it.
Yeah, true.
They ride bikes,
and they do that a lot. But yeah, we were talking about how Plemons plays it, and like the little guy who has a secret, like him on that bike. Yep, it's like all right, like it's like he's on top of the world, and then even when he gets like pulled over, like you can tell there's that like weirdness in the air, and he's like, yeah, I gotta get to work, and it's like oh, okay, this is a step weirder than just
baby.
Pause, and it's like this is weirder than just.
I've been so restrained, okay? I've been so good. This
I know.
Episode.
I'm very.
We're
an
hour in.
I know.
I'm literally very, over an hour. That's you're proud of me. Go ahead, finish your thought before I keep saying depraved things.
Just the amount of restraint that he showed, which you as well showed, Lane. Everybody, give Lane a round of applause.
Thank you. Yes, applaud me for getting this far in.
But yeah, just like him holding himself back, and then even like holding himself back against the cop, right? It's like, oh, okay, like this is definitely like you can tell that there's more there, and like he's holding himself back from that, but like. It's like, oh, okay, so there's more than just like, hey, he's trying, because it doesn't feel, or I guess the way I want to phrase this is, it doesn't feel like a guy who's like guilty and like getting away with it during that interaction, right? It's just a guy who's like, yeah, I really got to get to work, I'm trying to get out of here, which is interesting. I mean, in a really cool way, right? Because obviously he doesn't feel like he's doing anything wrong, but...
Well, no, he does do there's one part when he smiles. There, like when he kind of like nervous smiles and he's like, there's nothing going on, I'm pretty busy, or he says something like this.
Yeah.
In that moment, that's when he looks guilty. But otherwise, you can tell he kind of like is a little bit like, he is playing like this fucking guy. I am going to repress every emotion I feel about this guy even deeper in this. Like I have to play it cool. Yeah. I have to fucking, which is really like, that's deft. I think it's very good. He does that a lot in this. He kind of like plays fear. He like very subtly, but he does this thing. All right, I'm going to fangirl. Mm-hmm. He does this tick where he adjusts the suit that he's wearing. And I think it's very fun that like on the Don character, the suit he feels is too small. And then obviously on Plemons, the suit's a little bit too big for him. He does this thing every time he's wearing the suit and like talking to Emma Stone, he's like adjusting the suit and like kind of trying to square his shoulders up. Like he's trying to make himself look bigger.
Yeah.
And every time, like he also plays this movie, like his ball is sweatily stuck to his leg. Like every step he takes, he's so fucking sweaty. But the physical like representation of like I am trying to be the man I think I should be, and like I'm trying to like hide my fear and do the right thing that I think I'm doing. Like even though I know I'm like doing something I shouldn't be, or like doing something that people won't approve of, in the moment. I think that's very like deft or delicate.
Yeah, I don't know.
I do want to say I want to take that ponytail and like wring it into my mouth like a towel.
All right,
so
there
hot.
it is.
I'm sorry.
Hour 9 minutes. We had a good run, folks. We had a good run. I don't know what it's going to get cut down to, but maybe an hour. But yeah,
this episode is going to 3 hours. No,
I've heard.
When he, I've tried so hard. No, when I wore the Plemons shirt to, so our past and future guest, past and future listener Lucy, got me for my birthday a shirt, like one of those like bodega shirts or like street vendor t-shirts that has like
fan cam
10 different faces of the same. Yeah, a fan cam shirt. Though they predate fan cams by quite a while, right? Like these, I think of the 90s as like these shirts getting there. But anyway,
I think their iteration now is so ironic, like so irony pilled that it is. I feel like a lot of it now is based
not for me, baby.
Cams. Not for you. All right.
But yes, yeah. I got to get back on Twitter and see if there's some fan cams of this movie. Actually, now that you say that, I'm gonna reactivate my Twitter just for that. She got me a shirt with Plemons' face on it, like a big T-shirt, and so I've been in that style. And so I wore it this past weekend to see the movie because I was like, whatever, it'll be fun. And then when we did laundry, Christopher was putting the laundry away, and he like put it over the pillow, like my pillowcase. Like he put that shirt over it. And I was like, babe, you're not supposed to give into the bit. Like you are the one person who the bit can like come off at the end of the day for.
Yeah.
Please don't feed this. No, so when they first show him with his hair down, like in the very beginning, I want to say it's at night when they're about to like inject themselves with whatever finasteride or whatever chemical they say. He looks like Kurt Cobain. And I was oh my God. It's been, because Kurt Cobain was like the formative first crush I had, like going into my tween years. Like that was like a huge, and I was like, oh my God, it's been Kurt Cobain this whole time, like always down. Has been. Yeah. I was like, holy shit, I never thought about it. But then when he's like up and about, he looks more like the guy from Puddle of Mud. Like he's so greasy in this. Cobain was not super greasy. Oh, Puddle of Mud is a band that like a post-grunge.
Gotcha. I was thinking that was a movie.
Like knockoff Nirvana.
Yeah.
Hang on, let me see if I can find a good Puddle of Mud like GIF to send you. I hope the watchers are laughing at home with this one. Puddle of Mud. You'll know it when you see it. It's kind of one of those.
You know, I don't think I will, but I'll entertain you with this.
Just like very greasy, blonde, you know. Not a great picture I just shared. I'm damning myself here a little bit, but...
Listen, I've never understood the Plemons thing, so...
And you still don't? I'm glad August champions me now. I'm glad that August has my back about this. Ricky's raising his eyebrows. Ricky has 74 like forehead wrinkles right now. Looking at this picture and looking at me. That guy is not my cup of tea. The lead singer of Puddle of Mud is not. But when I saw Plemons in this, I was like, oh no. Oh no, Lane. Oh no.
This guy looks like I can't even think of the name. Let's just move on.
It's for the best. But
yeah.
All right, we don't need to spend too much time on this, but I do think he's very hot, and I'd like him to electrocute me. I was like, can I make a fetish out of this?
All right.
Like, yeah.
You know,
he's like, Your Majesty, and I was like, oh, clip that, chat.
You know, I'm just gonna leave that there. I'm gonna leave that with what it is. All right.
My goal is to get you to end this podcast early.
Could I
make it easier for the edit?
Could I say a bit that is probably just wildly inappropriate?
No, please. I just said that I wanted to drink his hair grease. Like, it's fine.
I feel like this is far more inappropriate. This is like having the crush on the camp counselor, right? But this is like a crush on the conversion camp counselor where they fucking electrocute you and you're like, oh, but like, he kind of has something to him, though. If that's too offensive, cut it out. But like, I don't know.
No, I'm gonna. Like I said before, I'm gonna put reverb on it. Actually,
okay, thank
I'm gonna
Christ.
put a score.
Yeah, yeah.
No. I mean, yeah. When he has that gun in his pants at the end, I had to resist with Chris at the end. Dude. I had to wait until we were out of the theater to lean over and be like, I bet it's that big.
When he gets out of the car and he's like picking his fucking shirt up so that he can open his pants up to put it down, and I'm like, and nobody's tackling this fucking guy. Like, that is like by single like byline of thought throughout so much of the of that like end piece is like nobody's tackling him. Nobody. Like,
well, and you know, it's your fault because the security guard is Ricky. I don't know. That's true. It made me laugh.
That was the gate
Ricky.
guy. Yeah.
Or the gate. Yeah.
Tony, I think, was the was the guy who takes her keys, the valet, and he even like fucking he's like radioing in the back, and I'm like, they got no other security guards. Like, nobody works in the building. Like, come on.
Yeah. No, well, not at 5:30. She sent everyone home.
Oh, that's true. 5:35. When she okay. Hey guys, it's 5:35. I want to let you know you can leave now if you have to.
Let's spend. Okay, we'll get back to Plemons as we talk more. But like Emma Stone in the beginning, like introduction before she gets kidnapped, is unbelievably funny, and like some of the writing is a little obvious of like the diversity, like that video piece is funny, but like a little bit straight, like a little silly. Mm-hmm. But then all of the like, first off, all of the aesthetics that they're showing her with are so fucking funny and timely and like not poignant, but like specific, like the Stanley Cup, the red bottom shoes, you know, the red face light mask, like these, and she's wearing the same outfit in each of them.
Yes,
I was like, damn, I know people who have these devices, like you know, whatever, like it's very specific.
Like, but all the shit in her home is like definitely like, oh, okay, this is a type of person. But then like you get to her desk and it's even like, oh, like. Yeah.
The like crazy statues on her desk. But when she has the little exchange with like her executive assistant where she's like, she does the, you know, if people are free, if they don't have any work to do, you know, but if they want to, like whatever.
But we are still a company, so let's try to get some work done, right?
We have to meet business needs.
Yeah, we do have to meet quotas.
All of that's really funny. All of that's really funny. But then there's this like really tight close up on her face from like above as she's like saying goodbye as the executive assistant is leaving. And she goes, "New era." It's so fucking funny and specific.
The way that the assistant
like
kind of like
Instagram,
pauses too, at, like before she responds. It's like, you know, she's heard it like 100 fucking times at this point, and she's just tired of hearing about the new era. It's so funny. But she has to like, new era.
It's our new era. Yeah, it's hilarious. We can talk a little bit about the Oscars at the end of this episode, I think, if we want to, but I wish that she had not just won again for Poor Things so that she could win for this movie instead, because I think, like, I think she's really great at delivering all of this, like, character. When they have their discussion in the very beginning, so there's, like, two kind of, like, very, tense pieces of... of conversation between them before before he kills his mom, which we haven't really talked about, but she, you know, when she first wakes up and she's delivering all of these like DEI, corpo, HR speak buzzwords like to him, and he's like off the fucking chain, like going insane, you know, there is so much hilarious acting and like very like sharp characterization there. I think of like when he's like, "Well, you're an alien," or whatever. And she's like, "I hear where you're coming from and I respectfully disagree." It's so fucking funny. I don't know. I hear shit like this all the time at work.
Dialogue
so
about that?
It was pretty. Yeah, every line she has is so funny, and the line deliveries, she's like so good at playing it like just emotionless enough that you are kind of, oh, Ricky's lights are flickering. It's over. Someone's getting electrocuted.
Yeah.
Ooh. New era.
New era.
I'm gonna start saying that.
Ricky doesn't have fucking electricity. New era.
Yeah. She she can't help but still insult him. And so, like...
Yeah. She's also, like talking down to him so bad. And it only stops...
Yeah, like, so condescending.
Yes. Yeah.
And it's such a fun, like, way of, like, oh... You know, this... Like, watching it a second time, it's like, okay, the first time you're saying, oh, Ricky, you're, like, really losing power. Are you on your laptop or your...
I am on my laptop, but if I lose power, the Wi-Fi goes out, so it kind of cuts them.
Okay.
We'll still have the recording, but, like...
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, that's fine.
Yeah. So if I disappear,
as long as if we lose the record, if we drop off Wi-Fi, just save. Just make sure you save your record. But so at first you're like, okay, this is fun. Like, yeah, an alien and a CEO might speak the same way, right? That's like a fun, like, whatever, improv exercise. But then to think of watching this the second time through, and it's like, oh, she even says at one point in the movie, you know, I've become the human being I said I'd never would. Like, I've become a bad, you know, and she even shows this cruelty to him in that moment. And so watching that, and you're like, oh, it's not just that she's an alien. It is that she's also a fucking evil CEO who, like, is polluting the planet or whatever because of, you know, what she's been doing this whole time on Earth. And so, yeah, the way she says, like, she criticizes him for saying shibboleth's wrong. Yeah. There's just like all of that is very, like, she calls him mentally ill, and says, like, you need help. Yeah. As
a part of the, I'll say, original Teapot, shibboleth is one of those terms that makes me see red. Anyone who uses it unironically, I want to redacted.
There's some really good... This is what I mean about the, like, specificity of so many of the like, whatever, like,
of the specific dialogue interactions. Character. And the characterizations are very specific to the time.
Well, and just specific to this guy. Like, he's not, like, this is, like, a type of dude that, like, we have all heard of or seen on the internet, or, like, you know, have seen
met
our friends
IRL in meetups and just wanted to beat to death with their bare hands. Take that out, Lane.
That too. Been afraid of on a date. Like, like, take your pick. I could not fix him. The Plemons magic is that I'm like, this character's fucking repulsive to me, and yet, like, I will still. But go ahead. No, go ahead.
I just wanted to mention, since we talked about the. Sorry, but I wanted to mention, since we talked about the first.
No, I'm saying please cut me off.
Oh, okay, yeah. I mean, I know there are the two, like, really charged conversations where she's technically a prisoner in both, but I think the most interesting part is that in the first conversation and the last conversation, she maintains the same dominance, but now from, like, different perspectives, essentially. Where in the last one, she's like, all right, fine, sure, you fucking got me. Are you happy?
I'm an alien. Yeah, right. Right.
Where in the beginning it's like no, like, it's and I mean, I don't know how intentional this is, but it's like the three masks, right? And like the one is like she has her public face for the first conversation, and then for the second conversation, which I'm even going to include the sort of, like, the dinner talk and the second conversation that they have where he sort of, like, gets very angry, and she's again still very condescending. But, like, the mask sort of starts to slip, and then we see her more quote-unquote human side. And then in the dinner conversation, it is fully her human side. And then, like, the third mask is, I'm a fucking alien, right? And, like, that's what we see at the end, finally, that last bit. And so it's just, I don't know, it's really fun. I love that, and I love the sort of, I don't really want to call it I'll call it a trifecta. The trifecta that we see there, right? Just cool to me.
Yeah. Her arc is very interesting. She has an arc where she might not in a like a less interesting movie, or a less, you know, interesting characterization of this character might not have an arc. Especially, right? Your first interpretation of playing an alien might be an alien does not have emotion, you know, or, like, not show emotion. And so, like, the fact that she does put these different masks on. You good? Did you just get attacked by a cat?
The cats are, they're just scaring the shit out of me. I got one on my lap. I got Kate on my lap. But yeah. Wasn't expecting it.
Maybe that's the banging that I'm hearing all day during the records. Like that's
probably.
What,
I'm trying to hold them down now, but like I don't know. We'll see. I hope it works out.
I'm not editing this. I've decided I'm just going to keep this in. Everything. I'm not
you.
Sorry, listeners. Yeah. This episode comes out in 2 days, so
yeah.
This is also the last episode we're recording before I have my procedure, so like clock's ticking, man. The energy's a little funky.
Yeah.
I want
we only
to talk
have 2 days before
more.
the lunar eclipse. Sorry, go on.
It's true. Love a countdown in a movie. Loved that. That was fun.
Did you see the world flattening as it gets closer to the lunar eclipse?
It's a flat Earth, yeah.
I love that. Well,
yeah,
the beginning it doesn't look very flat, right? Like it definitely looks
no, it's
a bit
like
more
rotating.
Round, but the like 3 days.
It looks like you're
when it's like the very first one, the 3 days. It looks mostly like the globe, right? And then like
it's like a zoomed out on the top version of the flat, and then it's like your perspective shifts down so that it looks
you get a better view.
It's good.
Yeah,
it's cute.
Yeah. Fun.
We're
really flickering over here.
What is happening?
I know.
Yeah, what is the flicker?
It's just a storm.
I guess so. Is there a storm happening?
It's windy.
Storm's coming.
It's hella windy.
It's fucking windy. Crazy.
That's God saying we have to wrap it
up. Fuck you. No, we're going for 3 hours.
That's the alien
actually,
saying
it's 4
we have
hours.
to wrap it up. Oh, God.
So, we already talked about the bleach injection or like antifreeze injection. Some of just like the dehumanization, I think, is also very of this guy's type, or like of this type of guy, you know, like, and of this moment. Obviously, like lizard people has been around for a really long time, right?
Yeah.
But the idea of like the idea of, okay, we're taking this like coded, veiled anti-Semitism and then literalizing it into there are actual literal lizard people and like actual literal aliens. I think that's pretty recent. Like that's not something that's been around for like hundreds of years in the same way or like, you know, decades for sure, but and is very prevalent now in this like time of eugenics and white nationalism and all of that. It also felt like a good way of showing these things without like any extreme specific outright racism. Like all of the things that he says to the Don character when he's like, they didn't even try that hard. Like, look at her thin feet, and you know, they were kind of like ethnically vague earmarks of phrenology, you know, on her that he mentions.
I had a different read of that. I don't think it was specifically ethnically coded. I think it was more.
No, that's what I'm saying. I'm saying it's. Yeah,
well,
I'm saying like it's avoids that in the it kind of like, I don't want to say whitewashes, but it like it makes it vague enough that it doesn't. It's not just like, oh, he's just racist, but he is obviously dealing in eugenics. Yeah,
right.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think that they were even pointing at racism there as much as they were pointing at certain comments that have been made by public figures about the enemy within, about the other who like wishes death upon you, right? And especially like like yes, that I feel like the idea that is more ethnically coded has been around for a very, very long time, but only recently has the idea that like anyone who largely anyone who disagrees with you is wrong, evil, the other, however you want to phrase it, right?
Right.
But also that they look exactly like you. The way to tell them apart is pretty much impossible.
Right. XYZ.
It's XYZ, but the only true surefire way is killing them, essentially, right?
Violence.
And if they are real, it's the witch trials, right?
It's like a witch trial.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's like if they are a real witch, then well, they escape and kill us all. Oh well, oops. But if they're not a real witch, then they die again. Oops. Right. Holy shit.
Yeah.
It's really fucking windy. Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's the fire inside me burning. I'll go watch this movie again. No, but I think that's a good point. Is like if it's so ambiguous, or these items are so like these like racial markers, or like, you know, human race, just to keep it, you know, clear, like these things are so ambiguous that you can't really tell that you're, you know, that's
right.
That in itself is a funny commentary on this. But even just like the resurgence, I feel like, of phrenology in the mainstream is like so, like, it's so barbaric, you know. It makes sense to include it in this, with this type of weird little guy, you know.
Yes, so. And I assumed a lot of I assumed the hair stuff was really a point to like the old school phrenology of like, and I mean, I feel like again, that's something that's been around for a while. There's a good Simpsons bit about it where Mr. Burns like measures the head of like his lawyer, and he's like, you have the head of a stagecoach, of course you would say that. Or like, you have the head of like a stagecoach driver, of course you would say that. And it's like all right, fine. Like there are obviously people who have these very ridiculous ideas about that, and it's like, okay, sure, and they manage to sort of incorporate a wide swath of things while also leaving it vague enough that it is very much so just an othering of the neighbor, right? Like,
and it's fucking wrong, because his whole premise is that these are like synthetic humans, but really, as she explains, if we're to believe what all of the monologue she says, and judging from the aliens at the end with her, is that humans are modeled after the Andromedons. Right, so like he's the bastard, you know, not her, right?
Right.
So,
But he was correct that they had different nervous systems, but like pretty much everything else, and like even down to the hair, and like the way that the fucking lotion interrupts the because she can't really use her powers effectively until after the lotion has been washed off. Yeah, it's an endocrine disruptor. Yada yada.
But then, but the all of the signs that he's using to tell, like the physical signs.
All bunk.
Like all of those are right, which is fun. I mean, it's not fun. It feels ridiculous to say anything about this movie's fun. But it is kind of like a funny tongue in cheek at the end, when all of these like aliens have like different races and like ages and sizes and everything. Like it's kind of like, you were so wrong.
And the number of people that he had dissected, or I mean, which he had dissected and like experimented on, right? And only 2 of them he had sort of like, nice. Lane is pointing at themselves and then brushing their hair away, which they do not have hair to brush away because their hair is cut and short.
Oops.
Yeah.
Sorry. Yeah, but I am cut.
Ooh.
Do you think it's
You're
cut?
just sad because you don't have a fuck-ass Bob to compete with Jesse Plemons and
I don't.
Whoever
I don't have my fuck-ass Bob anymore. Yeah. It's true. It's Emma Stone's. It was Emma Stone.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
The 2 of them. But
no, yeah, I think that is a very like valid point to make, and I think it's super poignant, especially in this specific time period for like just within the last year. I think there's been an increase in the idea of othering those who are like even the same race, even the same, like, I mean, you hear stuff about like race traders or whatever, right? It's just people with like different beliefs at the end of the day, right? But I mean, in this movie, they have different nervous systems, right? And the whole like you need to disregard empathy. That was a big push on the right up until Charlie Kirk died, and then it became illegal to not it became illegal to not mourn him, right? It's like, all right, but like everything before that is like, okay, like they had a lot of messaging about how you need to discard your empathy, like these people are not people, like, you know, it's like, okay,
empathy's like, a new wave, like plot of
it's killing Americans or America or the American dream, whatever you want.
Yeah. Well, and it's interesting too, the what was I going to say? Well, you see it with, the idea that like you can understand and judge a person's moral worth based on their like physical traits, like not something that they're wearing necessarily, or like, but like that you can, you know, just even people do it with gender roles too, right? Like gay people, like blue haired, you know, whatever liberal is like the go-to, like maybe the most, other than like the explicitly racial like stereotypes, like that is like such a, you know, or like a short haired feminist, you know, take your pick, but like,
I mean, especially recently with Mamdani winning New York mayor. Let's go around Mamdani.
Shout out.
Shout out Mulnani.
Let's get him on here.
We should get him on here.
Yeah.
But
yeah,
like even with that, right? The number of people who I saw saying like, "Oh, he has like dead, lifeless eyes like a shark," yada yada, and it's just a normal picture of a guy smiling. No, it's just people like.
That's
hoping,
crazy.
Right?
I've never heard that. Yeah,
right,
I was gonna say that's nuts. That's really crazy.
No,
yeah, right, yeah.
But
it's just like super diluted because he's such a warm, friendly presence. Like it's the opposite.
Yes, but it's this right wing cope that it's like, oh, like obviously he's just putting on this mask to try to fool everyone, you know, and
yeah, because he's really gonna do 9/11.
Right,
like what are we talking about?
Yeah. And I mean that's not to be political, but that is. I'm not going to say it. Never mind.
Political.
Nope.
No, please. I'll cut it. Okay. But you can say
it. That's a lot of what the right does. Is they'll create a straw man of the left and they'll attack it and say, oh, like they're going to do X, Y, and Z, and then you can point to examples and say, okay, well this has happened on the right where. Okay, Oreo bumped the mic. Sorry about that. Thank God you're cutting this out. You can say, well this is already X, Y, and Z has already happened. And it's under rightist leadership. What's your response to that? And they go, well, it either wasn't as bad.
Oh, it's different.
It's different. Yeah. It's different in some way. Or if they can't get around it with it's different, then it just becomes like it wasn't as bad. Or like that was in the past. It's been revoked, yada, yada. It's like, right. So like, why has it been revoked? Right. It's like, because there's a lot of pushback to it, right? And it's like, okay, so like if this happens, would there not be equal pushback? In order to prevent
obviously
it,
not.
Right?
But
obviously not, right? It's
there
like,
have been so many excuses made. Yeah, no, in the last, and by the way, I'm keeping all of that in.
Fuck!
That was like very mild. That was so mild, bro. Like I thought you were gonna be like, yeah, we should Charlie Kirk again. Like we should dig him up.
No.
His core.
Even I think that like. I think even just commenting on that,
sad a guy died.
That is like,
yeah.
I mean, and sad a guy died, right? Like, I'm not going to condone that at all. You got to get down, buddy.
But the use of political violence is not a good thing for a society.
But I think it's a worse thing. The use of political violence to try to initiate a sort of flash pan event, right? I feel like that's even worse. Yeah. Giving a $21 million funeral to a podcaster is maybe a little interesting, right? Yeah. Far be it for me to say anything past that. Yeah. But yeah, it's
crazy.
Also there's a lot of false equivalences that are used across either side.
Yeah.
And it's when you try to really break down. Okay, so like, hey, let's set this as a threshold, right? It's like, all right, because obviously it's like it's not that you don't
They'll
want
always
any
find a way.
hate speech, right? It's that you don't want a certain amount. Right. So it's like, okay, so let's say nothing above this level. And it's like, what about all these guys who are above that level? And it's like, well, I mean, but those are like my guys, right? Yeah. It's okay, cool. But you're willing to punish guys who aren't your guys, right? But you're willing to punish guys who aren't your guys, and this I'm mainly saying the J. Jones versus the Young Republicans.
Oh,
10,000 messages over like 7 or 8 years is very different from 2 messages,
versus
one of which was a joke and one of which was obviously said in a fit of anger and walked back in later messages. If you read the further text messages without like further prodding from media because they know how reprehensible it is. It's just kind of interesting to compare that to 10,000 fucking messages. Anyway, I didn't want to get political. I'm sorry. My bad. I'm sorry.
Ricky, no, I'm more annoyed that now I have to bleep all of this because you've just doxed yourself by revealing that obviously you're deeply invested in the Virginia Attorney General's race because you live there.
True, yeah.
No, I agree. And it's so just pivoting back to the movie. It sucks that, you know, okay. To talk about the Oscars a little bit. If there was an Oscar, if there was going to be an Oscar clip from this movie for Plemons, I think the line where they're going back and forth with him and Emma Stone, and he says, and we'll talk about this, and we'll talk about that, and we'll just talk until we die. And then she goes, yeah, I agree. Like, that is like the funniest fucking section of the movie.
Yes.
But but what the way he says that is like, oh,
I lost you. I didn't lose power though. You are gonna have to cut this out. I'm sorry. I'm continuing to talk in hopes that Discord is back on. I'm gonna disconnect and reconnect. It's not loading. Do you have the time to listen to... Lane's power went out! Fuck you! There's no way! Wow. Okay, I paused.
No, but the way he delivers the talk, like, that entire exchange is so good at showing how you can't get through to these fucking people. Like, how it's just like a futile effort.
Yeah.
His delivery's great.
Well, yeah, because...
Yeah.
And a lot of that comes back down to, like, the big divide between the left and the right, and the inequivalent, or the false equivalences. The
straw manning, right, and
a lot of well, straw manning, but a lot of the times, many figures, especially prominent figures on the right, will use whatever tactics they need to in order to win a certain conversation or debate.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter if it's strategy true. Overall, though, because
right,
because. Like, when you use many separate tactics, when you try to fit them into your overall strategy, it's like, all right, well, then you actually believe in nothing. And it's the same thing that many right-wing people ascribe to left-wing. And then you say, all right, but, like, what do you mean they believe in nothing? Well, they just do whatever their voters say. Right, well, because they're willing to update their priors. And it's, you point out right-wing politicians not updating their priors, not updating their policies in order to match them, and it's like, all right, well... You get this, again, it's just really weird false dichotomy that appears. Super odd. But yeah, we were talking about the Oscars. What's going on with that?
I don't want to talk about it. No, I mentioned his Oscar clip, if he had one. I mentioned this in our group chat a couple weeks ago when there was a New York Times profile of Plemons, or like an interview with him. I posted this in our group chat. Maybe you just weren't paying attention because you... Like, I
don't know if I saw it.
You
I'm a bad friend.
You intend? No, I was gonna say you probably like blocklist anything that has like the word Plemons in it, like just preemptively. You're like, you have a browser extension. You're like, nothing from Lane. No. It was a just an interview about like this movie and like him acting whatever, like a very like generic Oscar campaign kind of kickoff article, like. Whatever.
Oh, yeah.
And...
Weren't you saying that it was too boring? You were like, oh, he's not going to get it. This is too, like, milquetoast.
Yeah, I might have even said that word. I would milk his toast. But, no, it had no...
Hey, yo. Honey for your toast?
Listen, hey. Hey, man. Hey. Let
him slather me up.
The interview had
I'd be his busy bee. Sorry.
Bro, I would. Anyway. It smells crazy in there. It smells crazy, like in that basement.
Oh, yeah. I'd shake my booty in a figure-8 formation in order to convey to him that I'm down for it. You feel me? That's what bees do to communicate, watchers, just so you're aware.
I can't compete with Kirsten Dunst, so I couldn't try. But you're right. If she, ever left him for greener pastures, I'm first in line. No, in this interview, he was... very boring and had no narrative going for him, right? Oscar season's starting, like it's really ramping up. And the interview was like, up to this point, people have been like, oh yeah, Plemons is a fucking lock for this movie. He's awesome. Like he does so well, but there's no narrative being played here. And Best Actor is getting very, very competitive. I don't know that he has a spot. If I had to guess, I really hate to say it, but I really don't think he's getting in. I will be championing and beating this drum for the next, 4 months, but I don't think it's happening for Plemons.
I'll beat my drum to him.
I have. That's why Chris put the little pillowcase on. No, I just there's a really unfortunately, I think that Timmy's getting it this year. I shouldn't say unfortunately. I think it's great that Tim is gonna get.
Yeah, what do you mean? We like Timmy.
We like Timmy.
Yeah.
We're Timmy fans.
Chally.
Have we ever done a Timmy movie? I don't think we have. Have we?
We did. He was in the one with Plemons.
Oh yeah, Hostiles. They're coworkers. You're right, or co-stars, coworkers.
Yeah. I was thinking Hostiles, but I kept getting it confused with Weapons, and I was like, I think I'm getting it confused with Weapons again. And I was like, I'm just not going to say anything, for fear of looking dumber than I already do on this pod.
But I do think that Timmy's going to get it because they didn't give it to him last year, because he's already been nominated like 5 fucking times. Like, I think he probably gets it this year. And so, which is fine. I think that's okay. But I am disappointed that it also means with such a competitive Best Actor race that I think it's shaping up to be, I do think that means there's the 5th spot does not go to Plemons. I will hope that I'm wrong, but I think it's too competitive. He doesn't have a narrative in the same way. He doesn't have like this movie's a little weird. I don't think this movie's going to get a lot of Oscar buzz outside of that. I don't, so, which is disappointing.
No buzz.
No buzz. Yeah, no. But I do think if they, I'm really like my 9/11 will be when they nominate The Rock over Plemons, and like The Rock gets that 5th spot for Best Actor. So like when that happens, I will fall to my knees.
Why The Rock?
He's in
what movie is he in?
He's in The Smashing Machine, where he plays like an MMA guy or UFC MMA.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay. Yeah,
he's supposed to be very good. Like, he's supposed to be very good in it, but I kind of am like, get fucked.
Is he allowed to lose in this one? Or?
Yeah, I think so. I think that's part of what makes it so transformative and like such a good movie is that he's like, yeah. But I mean, whatever. Like, good for him. Fine. Like, I'd rather some people really. The Rock is in some movies that are like really relatively serious and whatever. But I think like the field as it is now, I think it's probably Timmy, DiCaprio, Michael B. Jordan, The Rock, and then that 5th one, I just don't see them giving to Plemons. I think they give it to fucking George Clooney and Jay Kelly. Like, there's just a lot of like other movies that I think they will prioritize over this one. I hope I'm wrong, but I don't see it. I don't see it happening. Part of that problem is that, and this was actually my very first note, is Lanthimos, Plemons, and Stone. I watched another interview with them that they did for Letterboxd, like the 3 of them, and where they're just like talking about the movie, and like they have this energy of just like weird friends hanging out and like doing goofy shit together. And I don't mean that in like a diminutive way or like a diminishing way, but I don't think that Emma Stone's on top of the world. She has 2 Oscars. That's more than everybody basically does. She doesn't need a 3rd. She doesn't need to chase prestige. I don't know that Plemons is necessarily motivated by that, and I don't know about Lanthimos either. So it's like, I get the vibe that they are happy just collaborating together and not necessarily chasing this kind of thing, like this awards prestige. And so I don't know that it'll ever happen. They might just be happy making these kind of like weird, like esoteric auteur movies for the rest of their career. Like he's been working with Emma Stone for like 10 years at this point, So, yeah, I don't know. That was why I brought that up.
What's the one quote by the director who was asked, like, just in terms of, he was asked, like, oh, hey, like, the movie costed X amount to make and you only made so much back on it. And he goes, yeah, but it got made, didn't it?
Oh, I don't know. That could be anybody.
I recall seeing it, and I also recalled seeing that in relation to the opening weekend for this movie.
Oh, sure.
And like how much it made versus how much it cost to make.
Well,
and people just being like, well, it got made.
Yeah.
So
well,
that's what's important, right?
One Battle After Another is a movie that people are probably like talking about in those terms. I don't really love the box office discussion. Like, I feel like we've become people sound like fucking like executive producers and like corporate shills talking about box
they sound
office.
Like fucking evil aliens and shit.
They do.
Yeah.
But just like, why are you...
We should abduct them, Lane, and shave them.
We probably should. Actually, we should find this guy specifically and let him abduct me. Honestly, the second time I was watching it, maybe I'll bleep this. The second time I was watching it...
This? Alright, what is it?
I was like, watching Emma Stone in the beginning when she gets ready for work. I have that electric toothbrush. I've used a laser face mask. I have a pair of red bottom heels. Like, maybe one day.
How am I so fucking different?
Yeah,
huh?
yeah. Please abduct me. No, but just One Battle After Another, which is the big action kind of like thriller that DiCaprio and many other people, it's a star-studded cast, just came out. That's a Paul Thomas Anderson movie. So, Boogie Nights, The Master.
Oh yeah, PT is our guy. Yeah.
He's a guy. He might be your guy. I don't know if he's my guy. But I like those movies, to be clear. But people are like, oh, this movie cost $150 million to make, but it's only making $100 at the box office, or like it's in the red. And it's like, who cares? Why do you care? Like, what do you, like, I understand that the importance of, like, we want the industry to survive. We want we want movies to make money. We want to make sure that these creators have the ability to, like, create art and keep going, and that studios will fund them. But, like, why are we doing this, like, racehorse thing? Save that for the Oscars, which is, like, the appropriate venue to racehorse. Like, why are you doing it about money? It's just such a weird thing. It's a weird part of the narrative that I find distasteful. Yeah. Also, his movies never fucking make money. So, like, who cares? Like, this movie is probably his most successful, Anyway.
I mean, I would say, at least, like, from, like, the anime movies perspective, like, definitely huge to see them on the billboards and, like, making money, because
totally.
It shows that there's a market for it, and it's like, oh, okay, like that's great, but that's more, it's like, it's an expanding market. It's like
an industry trend. Like, Yeah.
Right.
I think it's fun to think about,
like, I'm
those
excited
things.
to see that trend, but
it's fun to think of things at the
like,
macro.
doing it about, like, individual directors.
Yes. Yeah.
When you start cutting it down, it's like, all right, dude, like, what does that mean though? Like, oh, people are just not as much into weird psychological, like, sci-fi movies. Like, all right, does that really tell you anything though? Like,
I really will cut
and
this.
Especially with a movie as unique. Or like, as a director as unique as this, you know, it's like, okay.
I just
like, it's like a kind of like an art house-ish film. I don't know how you would define it.
No,
like, it's kind of out there, right?
Yeah.
So, like,
of course, this movie's not
a lot of people to be rushing to see it at the box office, right?
Right. It just,
I saw this with 2 other guys in the theater. That's it.
Like, that's awesome. When I saw it the first time, I had the day off, and I saw it at like 2 p.m. matinee, and I was one of like 8 people in the theater, but you know me, I really like the very front, and I've figured out that, like, I've come to realize, I've always thought, like, I just like to be immersed in the movie, like, I want the screen as close and big to my face as possible, especially this one, but the real thing, I think, is that I like not having to, like, see anyone else's bullshit. Like, if I'm in the front, everyone else is behind me, so I can not see them on their phones, or, like, not see them, like I don't hear them as much, so it's, like, less distracting. So it was, like, an ideal, because I still got the laughs and stuff, from the theater, but, like, anyway. But no, the like, talking about specific, like, movies making money is, it's interesting because it's fun to have success, like Sinners earlier this year, like, really incredible box office run, made a lot of movie, a huge success, or a lot of money, a lot of movie in that movie, but also it made a lot of money, huge successful, like, awesome win. But the idea that, like, the industry is dying because a single movie doesn't perform as well, or because a movie, like, doesn't make its budget back, is just, it's a real misreading of, like, the times. We've talked about, like, how much money movies made back in, like, the 80s and 90s. And it's so completely different, the way people's attention is divided between, like, their phone. Like, why would you go out when you can just stare at your phone for 2 hours and, like, remember nothing about it the next day, but it's free. So, I just think it's not the most interesting way of approaching the conversation about, like, how are movies as an industry or as an entertainment doing. So, all that to say, though,
I agree. Yeah.
Bugonia, I don't know. I'm gonna rally, but I don't know how. I think this movie could get a sound nomination, but
yeah, you could get a Stavi nomination.
I would kill myself. I would actually legitimately record it. I would film it and send it on a VHS to fucking Jimmy Kimmel to play at the Oscars. I'd be like, play this. See what happens. Like, if Plemons got snubbed, but then fucking Stavros got in, it'd be over. It'd be so over. One other thing about the Oscars.
Best supporting actor?
Yeah, that'd be best supporting 2-bit bullshit. While we're on the topic of the Oscars.
Best support me up to this noose.
Yeah. Best actress, word on the streets are saying that best actress is going to be Jessie Buckley this year, for a movie that hasn't come out yet.
Shit.
Yeah, which is kind of fun. Like, we liked I'm Thinking of Ending Things, all of that, but she's also I have not read the book, but her performance is in the movie Hamnet, which is the, whatever, fictionalized account of the true story of like William Shakespeare and his wife losing one of their sons, and the inspiration for the movie or for the play Hamlet. The son's name. Yeah. And so I was like, man,
that's tough.
This is kind of cooking up my alley. Like, I've really come along on Jessie Buckley. I've watched quite a few movies of hers in the last like year that have turned the tide for me on her as an actress. So I'm excited to see this and see, because I think she has a narrative for sure. She has an overdue kind of thing going on, that I wish Plemons would fucking lock into. But, anyway, so that'll be fun, if she wins.
I mean, like you said, I don't think he's awards motivated,
No, I agree.
Same thing with, Lanthimos.
Yeah.
Yeah. Feels like they want to work on cool projects, and
yeah.
I mean, I respect that a hell of a lot more than
me too.
Someone who chases an award. Not, but
no,
not that I think it's bad to have a narrative. I think that's great, and I think like if that's your goal, hell yeah, more power to you.
Well, and he's been nominated for stuff before, so it's like he's no stranger to that. I don't think he ever had a snowball's chance in hell for it, but like for what he was nominated for, but it's still like he's no stranger to it. So anyway.
Yeah. He knew to this. He's true to it.
Yeah, true to me. I just want to be vindicated, man. I just need to be vindicated about all of this. I just need to be smug if he ascends to like A-list or like Oscar-winning status. I really need that win for me personally. Like, Ricky's judging me. There are two more like I think things that we really need to talk about.
He's a good actor. Yeah,
he's
a really good actor.
He's a good actor. There's two more things I think I'd like to spend some time on that we haven't yet. Well, maybe three. Sorry, I know we're pushing it here, but
no, that's fine.
Good. Yeah, we're going for 3 hours.
The cats are getting antsy, but that's fine. Yeah.
The character of Don, we haven't talked about his actor and like his performance. I thought at first I was like, oh, I don't know about this. Are we about to make a joke out of an autistic character? Like, is this about to be like played for laughs?
Oh, yeah.
But instead, they do this like interesting trick of like having him be the audience surrogate, not in like this character's really naive or like this character's really childlike, sort of seeing things through his eyes, but he's like normal compared, like he's broken, he's like got like trauma.
He's the only one with a conscience.
But he's the only one with a conscience, and he's like the only one who even can like really conceive of how fucked up everything is. And like, so that felt like a kind of like interesting deployment of an explicitly like autistic character played by an autistic actor. I thought that was interesting.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's also what sort of like, I feel like a lot of people, once they get to a certain point, say in for a penny, in for a pound,
Yeah.
And it's something that doesn't happen with autists, right? And it's something that like, which I think lends credence to him like killing himself of his own volition near the end, right? And it's a part of the reason why like it helps sort of like throw you off the scent of like, okay, is she an alien? Is she not? And like it really does get you with like the back and forth.
Yeah.
There's so many like I said before, like you were asking like, oh, when's the definitive point? And like I kept going like back and back in the timeline because there's so many like the scales that keep going back and forth, and it's just so heavily weighted. But not that there weren't signs, but it's almost like there were too many signs and too many directions where it's like
hard to tell. Like,
right, and like if there was any less ambiguous director, right, like creating this, then I would very much so be like more willing to lock in one way or the other way earlier in the film, right? But I mean, Lanthimos does great with like keeping you on your toes no matter what, and even up to the end, which is almost like sort of tongue in cheek with its reveal. It's sort of it's just great, I think it's super fun.
And that character is devastating. I mean, when he says like, "I'm ready to leave now."
Yes,
so fucking sad.
It's tragic. Yeah. I knew he was going to kill himself.
Yeah. He's like, tell him I said bye. I don't know. Or I'm sorry. Yeah, right.
Like way before that. He has like a few lines of dialogue before that where I was like, oh shit, like he's killing himself right now, right?
Yeah.
Because he says something, and I was like, okay, if he doesn't kill her this instant, he kills himself.
Yeah.
And then like, yeah, and then they keep going back and forth, and then like he says like, hey, you know, tell, I forget his name, Kenny. I've said it earlier. I forget Jesse Plemons' name. Eddie?
Am I crazy?
Teddy?
Yeah.
Yeah. I thought you said Eddie for a second. And I was like, Eddie? No, Teddy. Yeah, is like tell Teddy I'm sorry, or like it's not his fault or whatever. And it's like I had like breathed in and like was just holding it right up until that point. It was like such a sad, deflated, exhale there. Yeah, which especially just contrasts with her reaction to it so violently too.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Yeah.
Which
and he plays
like,
it.
Seeing the audience stand and kill themselves like that is
just
oof.
Yeah, it's nihilistic. Well, and his performance is really good. His like the way he does like a lot of like processing with his lips. Like he does a lot of like thinking, like where you might normally expect like him to like react with his eyes. Instead, he's like kind of like on the lower half of his face, almost like he's suppressing things in a different way than Plemons' character is, where he's like, he is also obviously like beaten the fuck down by him. He's like been condescended to and like told to shut up. So it's like he wants to talk, and he says it. He wants to, that he doesn't need to be completely silent during the whole thing. He's just been told to shut up. And so it's like, it's like the words are struggling to come out of his mouth. It's really hard. Yeah. Good performance.
Yeah.
Where'd they find this guy? Like he's like a complete theater actor unknown, which is really cool.
Does the actor have like issues, or
he's
is that
autistic.
Like purely affected? Oh shit! Okay, that's crazy. Wow, yeah,
which is fun.
Because I was gonna say like he plays it to a T. Like that's like that's perfect. Like
he does a lot of
like,
stimming.
Have, like, either a family member or something. Yes. Yeah. I was like just like having been raised around people like that. Varying degrees of I'll say mental faculty deficiencies. Like there is definitely like I'll say like a threshold where it's like, oh okay, like this person like obviously needs help in their day to day, and you can kind of tell what type of help they receive, and like how supportive their family is in like the way that they interact with others, and like Donnie has that very sort of like I am being controlled, but like I need to be a good boy, like he plays that so like to a T. Yeah, it's just it's spot on.
Yeah. Well, one other
also,
thing.
For the watchers, my mom was a nurse and she worked in people's homes, and I would tag along with her. So like
funny you bring up your mom, Ricky. Because this movie is secretly also a mommy issues movie. We should talk about the two flashbacks. It is,
yeah.
Especially the first one.
Not so secretly, actually.
Yeah, right? First off, the mullet combined with the shaved face, really tough. That's really hard. I don't want to see that. That I could have done without that.
Okay, thank God you didn't like that at the very least. No, I saw that, and my first thought was...
It's like recoiling.
Is this a yes or a no for Lane, right?
No, it's a no. It's a no. The mullet is really tough. I feel like they put makeup on him to make him look younger, which I feel like I don't like.
Yes, they did. Yeah, they tried to fill in some of the pock marks of it, yeah.
Yeah. Which is like, why would you do that?
I like
Those
that
are
part
the
of
things
his face,
I like.
honestly.
I know. I want to.
Yeah. It gives him character. Yeah. Don't. Hey.
You're getting the spray bottle out.
Yeah. Off the couch.
No. Okay. First of all, Alicia Silverstone is the actress that plays the mom. She is an anti-vaxxer in real life. So very interesting casting. I know that she's worked with Lanthimos before, so I don't know if it's just like funny timing or what, but I was like, wow, this is a weird meta layer that I don't know how I feel about. But her like delivery of all of the shit that she says in that first flashback where she's like, they're killing me and they're feeding me the poison and then trying to give me the cure and all of this, and your slob cunt of a mother will do it for you as long as you promise not to, what. I was like, whoa, we got a whole lot going on in just like this one little scene. That's setting aside all the weird visual shit too. Go ahead.
Yeah. Very reminiscent of a possession movie.
True. Yes. Yeah.
I don't know which movie it is, but
She's
it
actually
might have been Evil Dead Rises,
yeah.
where she says, like, where she says, like, no, you're like, whore mom is in hell getting raped, and like, you'll join her soon, like, shit like that. Yeah. But like, as soon as she said that, but she says it so calmly, it's like straight out of the fucking, like, I am an emotional abuser playbook, right? Like, where like, she's just going to say she's a piece of shit. And it shows where Teddy learned it to, deal with Donnie, right? And just the way that he acts towards him,
Yeah.
Although, I do think Teddy's maybe a bit kinder to Donnie than his mother was.
For sure.
So.
Yeah. Well, and her delivery, they talk about, like, having it be opioid withdrawals medication that they're, like, testing on her. Mm-hmm. So it's like, okay, so she's also, like, a drug user. So, like, that informs, like, this level of, like, delirium that it seems she has passed along to Teddy. Maybe he's not using drugs, but it's like, she was obviously, like, on this, like, conspiracy psychosis train that seemed to have at least something to do with drugs. Even if they are right in the end, setting that aside. So obviously that influenced his worldview. Very interesting stuff. But what did you make of, like, the surreality? Surrealness?
Yeah, surreality.
Yeah.
Surrealness, yeah. Surrealinity.
Like, knives. Or were they knives? On both watches, I couldn't really tell what they were. Or were they needles?
I believe they were acupuncture needles, yeah.
Is that what they were supposed to be? Okay.
So,
I couldn't quite tell. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, especially just, like, the way that they were arranged as well is very reminiscent of acupuncture. So, like, acupuncture is generally much smaller needles. But
yeah, I was like, these look really big and ornate to be acupuncture, but maybe I've never done acupuncture. It looked
like fucked up home acupuncture, right?
Yeah,
I assumed it was, just...
homeopathic acupuncture,
also, Yeah, homeopathic, yeah. I also sort of tied that in a little bit in my mind with, like, the opioid thing, where I was like, okay, like, they didn't want to use, like, needles, right? So it's like, well, what is the... Right, and so knives came into it. The thing that threw me for a loop there, the surreality, or the surrealness, where she's floating up into the air, right?
Yeah.
Again, so, like, that was the first point where, outside of reading the character, it's, like, the character interactions, you get some, like, form of hard evidence, right? But it's all anecdotal, right? Because we're seeing it through...
It's through his perspective.
Plemons' eyes, right? Yeah, and then the second scene where he's holding
her down,
and it is very much so, right? It's very much so, like, I don't know whether you want to say an allegory or, like,
symbolic, yeah.
Like, she is, like, threatening to fly away, right? And she's threatening to leave him, and he has to, like, deal with this corporate fucking entity, who is, like, currently killing his mother, and in his eyes, taking her to the mothership, right?
Yeah.
Like, removing her from him. Like, meanwhile, they have this, like, corporate face, which is, spouting out shibboleths to him, right? Just telling him what he needs to hear in order to get him to do what they want, right?
Yeah.
And like, he looks like a lost kid with a balloon, and I feel like that's what that sort of feeling is supposed to...
I agree.
That scene is supposed to evoke there, right?
It's really interesting you say that she is, like, in danger of drifting off, because to me, it seems more like she is the thing that's removing him from being grounded. Like, this is the... Right. Like, that was my... I mean, similar, right? Like, the imagery is so... But yeah, it's like... Yeah. He's so untethered.
What's untethering him.
Right. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. She was the last thing that kept him sort of tethered, right? Or, well, not even that she was what's keeping him tethered, but she was what was pushing him towards being untethered, right? With just, like, spouting...
Whatever bullshit,
what seems like, insanity at that point, right?
Right.
And so with the loss of her there, right? And then it's when we see her again, she's in a coma, and she's, like, very much so grounded, and he is very much so ungrounded. So it's, like, the exact inversion of what we saw earlier.
Which, the antifreeze scene, that's, like, the most fucking devastating thing. That is so hard. That is so hard. Yeah.
Well, let's stay on the earlier two mom scenes, because they do love going in threes in this movie. But
True.
That second scene in particular, it lends itself to the ambiguity where it's like, all right, well, we've seen earlier that she was rising, and it's like the first, like I said, hard evidence in quotes of okay, like you're dealing with an alien here, right? And then the second one kind of makes you go, like it's not an alien, right? Or like it's just his perception of it, right?
Right.
And so like maybe
that's
that
a good
was just
point.
a false perception earlier. And so it makes you like question everything that we're seeing through his eyes, right? And it also makes you question the radio scene with the electrocution, like all of that stuff, where it just keeps going back and forth, you know? And it's great. It's really masterfully done. Yeah.
Very good touch to have her in these like alien sunglasses too. It's like cold CEO shit, but it is also like she looks like an alien. Like her eyes are shaped in this like black kind of like pointy, you know, alien imagery in that scene. Emma Stone is so, which is really a nice touch. So yeah, no, you're right. Those are two those are two scenes that I kind of struggled with on the first watch because I felt like they were there. They were a little unnecessary, but no, I think they are.
They're better. Pretty necessary.
Yeah.
It also makes the reveal of when she's like looking at the dress afterwards hit that much harder. You know.
Yeah. You put it all together.
It's almost like it's almost kind of ironic that she's wearing his mother's dress, and then like he and Donnie are both like wearing the father's dress, and they're like they're eating, they're like having family dinner in quotes.
Like
I don't know.
He's talking,
having her fits. Afterwards, it's like she could have been in that same chair wearing that same dress. You know, it's like You know, like imagine how emotional that has to be for him, and then to have that immediately followed up with he goes and kills her. Like tough. Really, really tough. Yeah.
The dread of last like bit I had the three like physicality things. The first is adjusting the suit. The second is walking around like his balls are stuck to his thigh. And the third is he is able to make his face red. Like, I don't know how else to describe it, but like it's like when he's like super upset at the end, you can watch through the scene, his face like get flushed, like he's not crying, but he's able to like actors are crazy, man. Like the fact that you can like do that, but like he's able to like make the color like in his face, like, and he's super pale. So he's like super flushed looking. So when he's like leaving the hospital up until he has the confrontation with Emma Stone, you know, the fucking expression on his face is like so sad and upsetting when he's in the hospital and like the mom starts to seize, like, and you know what's going on. And then like during that whole role reversal where she, like Emma Stone is like lecturing him about like what really is happening and like what, you know, you fucking idiot, you just killed your mom. Like the grief and like fear, like he's like a little kid again. He's totally out of control, even though he's the one with the shotgun and she's just standing there. Like he's totally like at her mercy there. Very, very masterful. Cool. But the scene of him injecting, I mean, that's just so fucking dark. Like that is such a dreadful, Ari Aster type dread.
As the audience. Yeah. And it's one of those things where like the audience, you know, the entire time it's like, no, like, you know, it's not real.
You're about to kill your mom.
The ambiguity too. The ambiguity up to that point lends it to like, okay, hey, like
maybe she's not lying, but she's so obviously lying. Yeah, in that moment, you know.
I know. Yeah. But it is one of those like, oh, okay, like
it could go this
want
way.
It to be like true, you know, for him, you know, it's like, and for his mom, but again,
that's you hate this guy. He's such a scumbag. He's awful. And yet you still feel that fucking empathy in that moment. That's the fucking Plemonade. That's the magic right there. He's really good at that, at like walking that line. Yeah.
And I mean, I also like, I commend her for like quick thinking, right? Like saying like, okay, like she, like if I'm
what do I have at my disposal?
Human, right? I'm like, damn, good fucking play. Yeah, like she's manipulating them well. I was like, god damn, you're doing this like. You're playing this shit flawlessly. Yeah.
the last thing we have to talk about is
it's super fun to like be of two minds when watching it. Yeah, but
no, it is. Well, and it like I said, it's a very rewarding second watch too. In that way,
I believe it. Yeah.
The last thing is the end. Like the very, very end, she pops the bubble that she decides, nope, we're good. And then the like long scene of where have all the flowers gone.
I love the montages. That was so good.
It's fucking sad, man. When we watched this
so good.
Yeah. So I watched it the first time, and then I went back and watched it with our film club in the area, and like, the first time I watched it, I was like, this is going to be a terrible fucking watch for the film club because no one's going to want to talk because this is such a sad fucking downer, bleak ending. Like, no one's going to want to talk about this movie afterward. And we didn't. We ended up talking about other shit. Because, yeah, it's like really, it goes on a lot longer than you would think. It's like it starts off comical, baby dolls. And home. Yeah. But it gets really sad, like they show kids dead at their school and like, all of that.
Yeah. They showed a like a mass within what was it, like a temple, like I think is even like sacrilegious. I don't.
Yeah, it's a little like transgressive.
I've heard you're not supposed to. Well, you're not supposed to record inside of like.
Sure.
At least most Muslim temples, from what I know about. So even being able to record inside of it is transgressive. Yeah. To record a scene where everyone inside is dead, I was like, whoa, geez, man. Yeah. It's very, it's devastating. And then the song, I don't know if it's the Pete Seeger version or not, but it's like, it goes on and on and on. And like every time, it keeps like, just like driving home that devastation of like, nope, it's literally everyone. It is it's kids. It's, it's people being religious. It's good people. It's a random woman, a bride on her wedding day. It's doctors in a heart surgery.
It's right.
Yeah.
Right.
It's so awesome to see just like across so many different walks of life. And like the one thing that I've always sort of been annoyed at in like films that show like end of the world or like, oh, everyone died at once is they don't show like shit is still happening, right? Like machines are still running, like anything that you had started is it like, and it's these fucking relics of a bygone era now, right? Because
literally instantly,
it's over.
You're
done.
Yeah. It's cool.
Awesome.
It's haunting.
Fucking loved it. It was great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good ending. Yeah. And the contrast between these like symbols of excess and like environmental degradation, like jet skiing and, fish farming and like all of that kind of, and then also like, again, these very mundane
and interstates and cars.
Yeah. Right. But then also these human moments of like, an old family feeding their cat and like that kind of, like, it's just, it's a good, it's good. It's sad. Drives it home. Yeah. It's a good movie, but I think
because it is just it's awesome. Because it just crossed like all types of walks of life and like different people. Yeah, super cool. Yeah, it also goes to like they're all judged the same. Off of
she's like, nope, we're good here. Like which is clever,
right?
Because she has become a selfish, like biased, kind of like ruthless human in the way she said she wasn't, right? Yeah.
And you can see like even on her face, it's like I loved her face in that last scene too. Where it's like obviously a tough choice, but she's like, like I think we have
to
do
this,
right?
Like, it's over. It's over.
Yeah, and then it's also like how it further classifies Plemons' character as someone who needs to be right, or like not need to be right, but needs to be correct, right? To the point of even if it dooms him and it dooms everyone else, it doesn't matter. He needs to be the one correct, right?
Right. He wants the glory. He wants to like make the world right, like all of that.
Not even glory. It's again, means justify the ends, right? It's like if he's not correct, right, then like everything that he's done before it has just been torture and killing and insane ramblings and whatnot, and like his entire life has been a farce up until this point, right? And I feel like a lesser movie might make it a farce, right?
Yeah.
But
well, and he wants it. He wants to make the world. He wants to get vengeance and like prove the world right, like that he is right because he's been wronged in these like multi-dimensional ways, So, yeah, it's good. It's very clever. I really enjoy it as a character study and also as commentary. I think they're both like good ways of watching this movie.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Didn't like seeing his head get cut off though. I wrote no in all caps. That was my only note for that meme. Or blown off. Sorry. Yeah, I'll blow his head off. Anyway, you set me up.
That was so fucking funny.
It was really funny. It was funny, but it was also like very
when it comes
devastating.
Flying out of the cabinet and like bops her on the head and she falls over. That's so fucking funny, man.
Yeah, but it's sad.
And then like we get like the little bit of it, and like his head's there, and it's got like the fucking like weird guts coming out of it that aren't like head guts.
It has the same the severed head. Looks like the severed head from Hereditary too. Obviously, it's a very different person, but like the like expression, like and like design of the severed head is very much like the one from Hereditary, and it was what made me look
There's
up.
Probably just one guy who does that, Anyway, yeah.
Ari Aster was a producer on this movie, so like I was like, oh well, shit. So, but it is. I was like, that's my boy. Don't do it. But he had to die. That's all right.
Yeah, he really lost his head there.
You're setting him up. You're setting the pins up so carefully for me. You're like, I'm gonna say the word head like 65 times in 2 minutes.
And I know you're trying to give him head 65 times in 2 minutes, but can we move on? Yeah. You're welcome.
More like 2 times in 65 minutes. Why just 2? I don't have anything else to say, really. I mean, great movie. I really liked it. Liked it more than Kinds of Kindness. Even though this is ranked lower on the Plemons hotness list that I have on Letterboxd than Kinds of Kindness. Because he's a little skinny in this movie for me. I like a fat Plemons, but
I maybe have to give it more time. The more that we talked about it, the more I do feel like I really did enjoy it. But
yeah,
I've had a long time with Kinds of Kindness, and I also love a vignette. I love vignettes, and
that's fair.
Yeah, I love how ambiguous the vignettes say. Super ambiguous, and like
those are like complete goofballs, like dream logic shit, though. So it's like comparing apples and oranges, which is fair.
I know it is. Allowed. Yeah, it is. It is tough to compare. Yeah.
Personally, I could fix him, so I love this movie. But
okay, that's fair. Yeah.
I could fix him, meaning I could chemically castrate him like a dog. Like it would be like in a fun way. Ricky just made
the truth is revealed.
What a face that was that you just made. You just looked like like you slit your wrists and were just like waiting for the moment to come. That was the face you made. Well, pack it up.
Pack it up, pack it in, let me begin. I came to win. Stuff to me, that's a sin.
Okay. That's crazy. Do you have anything else to say about Bugonia from 2025, directed by Yorgos Lanthimos?
No, I don't think so. I feel like we've covered everything. And it only took us 2 hours and 20 minutes to do it.
I was gonna say, I think we beat the Texas Chainsaw app, which is great. And it was all me, baby. It was these great notes. Cool. Good movie. If you listen to this episode, if you watched this episode, watchers, and you didn't go see this movie, don't you support the movie industry and art house cinema at the box office? You're the reason that Plemons isn't getting a Best Actor nom. Watcher who did not see this.
I would be really interested to see the Korean movie that this is based off of, because obviously I know class struggles are super prevalent there. And so are gender roles, although I know that the CEO is gender swapped in that film. So it'd be super interesting to, and I feel like that maybe is a part of why the chemical castration came into play here, was to remove like sex
that
from the
element
entirely.
Yeah.
In order to sort of like even the playing field to that one, but it'd be really interesting to see like the political motivations, just the whole socio-political sphere that like surrounds and is sort of like embedded into that film, and to see how it like compares and contrasts to this one.
I almost put it.
So that definitely is on the list.
No, it was one that when I first heard of this movie coming out and learned that it was based on that one, I considered us watching it, but then I thought, well, but then it might kind of take the wind out of the sails of this one, so we kind of abandoned it, but
no,
I
yeah.
did, but
I mean, I'd like to see it in like a couple of months. I'd like to maybe do an ep on it, and then like an ep where we watch that, and then like.
And then we watch this one again. Yeah.
yes. Like Bugonia is like widely available, so we can watch both of them, and then we can treat that ep as a sort of. Yeah, hell yeah. And then we can treat that episode as like a compare contrast and like a
your favorite thing, the compare and contrast essay.
As much interesting to right. Yeah, I mean we won't have a ton of like interesting, unique things to say about that movie specifically, but like, I mean, sort of judging it relative to this one, I think would be very, very interesting. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm glad we watched this, and I'd be down to watch the original for sure.
The pre-make.
The pre-make, yes. But how could it live up? Really, I mean. We'll see. What if the guy in that movie is like really disgustingly hot? Like, what if we have the same problem?
What do you mean the same problem?
Next week's a Rick's pick.
Yeah, and I wanted to, although I didn't mention this to you, I kind of want to do a different movie than what we spoke about previously, which is why I asked you to cut everything about that before.
This is we're recording out of order. Next week is Blue Velvet, so just introduce Blue Velvet. Yeah.
My bad.
But we could talk afterward to see what your I want to hear about your movie, but yeah. So we're watching Blue Velvet, which is a Rick's pick.
So yes, next week's Rick's pick is Blue Velvet, by David Lynch, 1986.
Fuck yeah. We're there's no good way to like make a pun on David Lynch's name. Like we can't be like
no, let's not try. Let's leave that where it is. Yeah.
Okay, fine. Yeah, we're going back to David Lynch's oeuvre to see. This will be our third Lynch. So we're coming off the high of Mulholland Drive. We'll see what that's like.
It's our third Lynch movie. Let's always put the qualifier on there. Let's just not.
Maybe while I'm doped up, I'm gonna watch Twin Peaks over the next few months while I'm recovering from
hell yeah,
or leg surgery. Do you know the meme of like the Grinch that's like knee surgery tomorrow?
The Lynch?
Sorry. What if it was the Lynch who stole Christmas?
I do. No, I do know that one. Yeah.
Yeah, I've been thinking about it a lot in the last few weeks about my leg.
You should start like doodling that like on your fucking work papers, or like in your work Slack. Just like doodle the Grinch and just knee surgery tomorrow.
I'm gonna doodle it on the cast. I think is what I'll do. I'll just put the meme on the cast. Anyway, next week Blue Velvet. We'll talk about it. Rick's pick. Stay tuned. Thanks, watchers.
Bada bing, bada boom.
You put up with us. This wasn't that bad. I've said way worse on other episodes, right?
Are we ending? Do I end now?
We can. I was giving us some little banter.
Oh no, I didn't know. I thought this was an after bit. My bad. So no. Go on.
I was just saying. I think I did all right. I think I reined it in.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Unconvincing.
You let him rein you in. No.
Listen,
anyway,
with the bits. when he puts the thing in her mouth. All right, we're done now. We can be done now.
All right.
2:30. Oh my god.
Switch my wig, make him feel like he cheating. Put him on his knees, give him something to believe in. Never lost a fight, but I'm looking for a beat. In the food chain, I'm the one that eat you. If he ate my ass, he's a bottom feeder. Big D stand for big demeanor. I can make you bust before I ever meet you. If it don't hang, then he can't bang. You can't hurt my feelings, but I like pain. If he fuck me and ask who's is it when I ride the dick, I'ma spell my name.